gentlemen, you know exactly what we came to do. Oh yeah, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Closet of Truth. All right, welcome to the Closet of Truth, ladies and gentlemen. Guess who's living rent free? Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Zeus, feeling good, everything's alright. Welcome to the Closet of Truth, where I'm ready to field the questions. All right. I like that better, ladies and gentlemen. I like that better. Welcome to the Closet of Truth. All right. We got a lot of Trump supporters out there that want to talk to Zeus. So we're going to give them an opportunity, ladies and gentlemen. I like the light better. Shout out to South Dakota. But it doesn't have to be, it doesn't matter. This is the Closet of Truth, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of people don't get to talk to Zeus. All right, so I'm going to do a special broadcast to speak to the folks out there who really want to get a more in-depth conversation with me about the things that I push on my platform. So, by all means, don't be afraid to get in the box and have a conversation with Zeus. All right, because I want to put all of these rumors to bed. Right. The question I'm asking is MAGA winning or losing, right? And is there anyone out there that can answer this question for me? I have a couple of ideas, but the reason that I'm asking this question is because, I do my shows day in and day out, all right? Trust me. They're losing. You see that? Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. The results are in. There's not one person on this app that really deep down in their soul believes that MAGA is winning. And this is why I decided to get into the Closet of Truth. I don't understand. Dana, you want to come talk to Zeus? Come on, Dana. Come on in here. I've never had a conversation with you, but I'd be willing to explore why you believe MAGA is winning. All right, let's see. Yeah. The box is open. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Don't all rush in at one time. All right. Don't be scared. I don't bite. I'm pretty nice. All right. But if you're gonna sit here and say that MAGA is winning, I really do hope that you can actually provide some sort of evidence of winning. As it stands, and it's starting to sound like a broken record, right? But we all know what Donald Trump currently has going on, right? This guy has 91 felony charges. He's losing money out of the wazoo. He's losing money out of the wazoo, right? Dana, which one is it? Your name is Donna. Okay, what is it? I don't know but no one could get in the box and actually really explain why they believe MAGA is winning. I don't even think Donald Trump himself believes MAGA is winning. And I say that because he won't debate or try to defend his record. Hold on one second. Hold on one second. This is pretty bright. All right, yes. All right, yeah. Donald Trump, he won't he won't defend his record at all, right? He refuses. Oh, no wars. Can we talk about that? Come on, we don't got all day, ladies and gentlemen. Get in here and tell me about Donald Trump not having any wars. And then you have these people out here that say, well, he was going to run the country like he runs his businesses, right? How many of you think Donald Trump is a good businessman? Anybody out there think Biden literally stole the election? Steve, really? How did Biden steal it? All right. See, look at this. So I'm telling the Trump supporters to get in the box. All right. And I want you all to see. They're all terrified. They're all afraid of Zeus because they know that they have to be able to prove whatever it is that they're saying, right? He's a good businessman. Well, Jared, how many followers do you have? Because it's easy for you to talk out there in the comment section. Jared, come up here and explain to your big brother Zeus just how good Donald Trump was at business. All right, and and I'll sit back and I'll listen, right? And I got my laptop open, I got my computer, so any information you share, we should be able to look it up together, Jared. But as far as I'm concerned, Donald Trump is on his way to filing his what number seven bankruptcy. He's seven bankruptcy. So I don't buy that Donald Trump is. Am I stroking my ego? No, Jared. Why am I? I don't need to get online and stroke my ego. But I've been doing this for quite a while, and like I've said, I've never met an honest Trump supporter. Eight is it eight bankruptcies, Chris? Yeah. So when they say that Donald Trump he could run the country like he runs his businesses, I think well they must be talking about running these businesses to the ground. He must want to run America to the ground. All right. All right, we have a good afternoon, Greg. Welcome to the Closet of Truth. How are you,
Hey,
sir?
how's it going?
All right, all right. So I'm assuming you're a Trump supporter.
Yes, I'm a Trump supporter.
Well, thank you for turning on your camera and being honest. Number one, do you have a problem with me calling you MAGA or a Trump supporter? Because
No, I love it.
okay, okay. And how long have you been in love with Donald Trump?
I've liked Donald Trump's policies since he was president.
What would you say is like your favorite one?
Probably remain in Mexico
Okay, and why did you like that policy?
because it made it so there was less overdose deaths in America.
Okay, okay, okay. And what else? What else? So we got Remain in Mexico.
Yeah,
Title
First Step Act
42,
I liked.
the First Step Act. Okay. And what did you like about the First Step Act?
Well, it got rid of or took out of a lot of nonviolent drug offenders out of the prison system that weren't really a threat to society.
Yeah. Would you say it did a lot of good for people of color?
Everybody, including
Yeah.
people of color.
Okay. 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 All right. What would you say is Donald Trump's worst, I guess, quality as a leader?
the Some of the people that he picks to surround him.
Right. So he's not really good at you know, picking people to, do the work that needs to be done in government.
And I think that's a byproduct of not being in politics. So
He's an outsider, is what a lot of you say. He's an outsider.
right.
Yeah. Okay. All right. All right. And so, is that the only thing you say is one of his weaknesses?
Yeah, that's I think the only thing. That's the only thing I consider one of his weaknesses is who he puts around him.
All right. So, if you had to rate him as a president, A plus is the highest rating, and I ask a lot of people this question, right? And obviously, F is the lowest rating you can give him.
Yeah.
What would you give him?
Comparing all presidents to him.
Well, whatever strategy you use to rate him, if he turned in his paper, so to speak, his assignment and said, "This is what I'm giving you after my first term in office. Give me a grade. It's a sheet of paper. What would you write on it?"
Yeah. Well, I would say he's an A, and the reason I say that is because it's about time and place of when you need a certain type of person. And I think everyone always complains about Congress. Everyone always complains about the president.
Right.
Everyone's always complaining about it. But then when they get somebody who actually says what he wants to do and then goes into office and does what he said he was going to do, it's almost a shock because we're all
Yeah.
used to, like when Joe Biden said he was going to cure cancer on his political run. We all kind of raise our eyebrows. We kind of take everything they say with a grain of salt. But with Trump, like when he was like build the wall, people were laughing at him, and sure as shit, that wall's
Well,
getting
wait.
built.
Now, wait a second. We keep it clean over here. No profanity, please. All right. But okay. All right. And so you gave him an A, my good
Yeah.
friend Greg. Why do you think, if he got such a high rating, why do you think that he didn't get reelected?
I think the vote was rigged.
What do you mean? Like there was some sort of election, some fraud?
Yes.
But he went to the Supreme Court with that, right? Like over 60 times, and
Supreme Court didn't hear it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. They got rejected,
The Supreme Court didn't hear it to reject it.
right?
They rejected hearing the case. They didn't reject the evidence of the case
I mean, why do you think they rejected it 60 times?
because it's a state issue primarily.
Oh, okay. So your position is There was enough widespread evidence to change the results of the election, right?
100%. Yeah.
All right. Now, you're familiar with the indictments that Jack Smith has brought, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, the funny thing is, in those indictments, he did say in there that there was no outcome determinative fraud in there. What does that mean to you?
That's a great opinion.
No, 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 no. This is based on the facts, right?
Well, who's
Bill,
facts?
well, Bill Barr, right? His cybersecurity expert as well. Mike Pence didn't buy it, right? And so at a certain point, don't you think it's time to kind of let that go?
No. No, because it's not the fact. And because a few people said it was, doesn't change the reality of what we saw. We saw, let's put this into perspective, right?
I'm listening. I'm listening.
We had the first mass mail in ballot system put into place in all of election history.
And why was that?
So many people beforehand, there was committees on vote security, decades and decades before, all would say that is a way for corruption to happen when you do mass mail-in voting. That's why they never did it before,
But
right?
Trump
Because
signed us up
there's a
for that.
security problem in that. We saw that
But
same issue in Arizona, where we saw people that were signing ballots and they did no signature
okay,
verification.
okay, okay. Now we understand why it all there was that push to do the mail-in. You do recognize what was going on in our country at that time, correct?
A lie about the danger of COVID, yes.
So what was the lie about? So you don't think the pandemic, you don't think COVID was real?
I think COVID is real, the same as
Okay,
the flu is real. I don't
okay.
think it required us to lock into our houses, close our businesses, don't go to church, have 5 people over only for Christmas.
But it happened under Trump's administration, right?
COVID happened? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And you remember you gave him an A for the way that he handled it. So in a way, you're
No, I didn't
saying,
give an A for the way he handled COVID.
but you gave him an overall rating of an A, Greg.
For the president coming up, yes, I give him an A, yeah.
No, so that meant you are saying he got an A for the way that he handled the pandemic.
No.
You want to
And
change
I
the
said,
grade?
well, it goes back to my point before, which was the people that they put around them, right?
I mean, that's
When you
one
have
component of it.
when you have Deborah Burks, right? You know
Yeah.
who Deborah Burks
Yeah, I
is. When
do.
you
I
have Anthony Fauci.
okay.
Um, do you know who? I'm sorry, Martin Koldorf is.
I don't know who Martin Kaldorf is. Who's this guy? Let's look
He's
him up.
he's an epidemiologist from Harvard.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. So you're saying he surrounded himself with experts, and that was a terrible idea.
So no, what I'm saying is, so like Anthony Fauci, for example, right? He effed up the AIDS epidemic back in the day, right? Do you
I mean,
know?
I'm listening to you. I don't
Sure.
agree with it.
Do you know who Carrie Mullis is?
Okay, I don't know who that person is, but
Okay.
here, I think we're
Carrie
getting off track.
Mullis, yeah,
We're
Carrie
getting
Mullis, well, this will make sense. Carrie Mullis invented PCR testing.
okay,
He won a Nobel Prize in 1994 for it, okay,
okay,
in
okay,
chemistry. And hold on, I haven't got to my point yet. Carrie Mullis, watch videos on what Carrie Mullis back before talked about Anthony Fauci. He
hmm
despised Anthony Fauci and said on camera in multiple interviews that Anthony Fauci will look right into the camera, directly into the American people, and lie
okay. All
because
right,
he
Greg.
saw it in the AIDS
Okay,
epidemic.
okay, okay, Greg. I got you. But here's the thing: Donald Trump was the president when the pandemic started.
Hmm.
And what you're doing is what we call off the focus behavior, right? You're basically saying it's okay for him to be paid to get to be the president of the United States, right? It's okay for him
He
to be the
actually
president.
donated his salary.
Okay, that's another conspiracy out there.
Oh, that's a
That's not true.
conspiracy. Okay.
He didn't donate his salary, all right?
Okay.
As a matter of fact, we can go into that if you want to, but I mean, even if he did, you saw how much money he made from China, right? I mean, what a scheme.
How
What a
much money? No, you're thinking of Joe Biden, and
oh
you're thinking of
Okay,
Burisma.
okay. So let's get back to we're going to talk about these things in chunks, I should say. So let's get back to you said Donald Trump gets an A for the way for his presidency, but
Yeah.
how would you rate Donald Trump's handling of the pandemic if you're not going to give him the A, the overall A
Well,
you gave
I,
him?
I take it for what the situation was at the time, right? So I think all of us in the world, we were surprised by this. I think all of us were doing crazy things because we didn't know what we were dealing with. We were putting hand sanitizer on our cardboard boxes and our mail, and
Right, we
you
were
know,
drinking disinfectant,
yeah, we
taking
were going nuts and
ivermectin.
doing all this stuff. And
Take
so
you
the
did you ever take any of the ivermectin that Trump suggested?
yeah,
You took some,
yes.
and did you do the whole disinfectant thing?
What's the disinfectant thing?
You could inject yourself with some disinfectant, and he said that would wipe it away. Did you ever
Is
try
that what
that?
you believe he said?
No, that's exactly what he said.
Okay. So
I
what he's
mean, what did you try? That's all I was asking. Did
yeah,
you at least try it?
what you're misconcepting is
Mhm.
what he's talking about is UV therapy. He's not talking about injecting bleach into your body.
No, he didn't
UV
say
therapy is
bleach.
a therapy that they use with illnesses and viruses. So you can take
Mm.
that for what it's worth.
Okay, so you know what we got right here. Okay, what if let me see if I can get something queued up. All right, let's see if we got this.
We hit the body with a tremendous, whether it's ultraviolet or just very powerful light. And I think you said that hasn't been checked, but you're going to test it.
Right?
And then I said, supposing you brought the light inside the body, which you can do either through the skin or in some other way. And I think you said you're going to test that too. Sounds interesting. Right, and then I see the disinfectant where it knocks it out in a minute.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that, Greg?
When he
He
said
said
disinfectant.
Yeah, remember you said he didn't say that. So what do you say about
Wait,
that?
it sounded like he said exactly what I said.
No, he talked about the light. He did, but he also talked about disinfectant, Greg. I'm starting to think that you
Right.
don't
So what when you hear disinfectant, what do you hear?
what he just said.
I know
What-
it.
Did I miss something, Greg?
What is disinfectant?
It could be a lot of different chemicals. It depends on
Right.
what you
When you go
use.
to the hospital and they put an IV in you, are they spraying you with Lysol?
I don't think they should be. Why?
Is
Are
an
you trying to?
alcohol swab a disinfectant?
Greg? So are you saying an IV is disinfectant?
Am I saying no? I'm not saying an IV
Oh,
is disinfectant.
okay. So what are you trying to say? Remember, the original thing you said to me was he never said
When you
disinfectant.
get an IV, have you ever gotten an IV before?
I have.
And before they put the IV in, what did they do?
You tell me.
Well, you had an IV. Tell me what they did.
I listen. I'm asking you to tell me.
Yeah, what they did was they used a disinfectant,
Oh, God.
primarily what's called an alcohol swab, and they
Okay.
rubbed it on the place they were going to put your IV, and then they
How about
injected an
this?
IV.
How about we'll go to the audience, Greg?
Oh,
Let's
yes,
go to let's
yes.
go to the audience.
Let's go to the
Does
audience.
anyone out there believe what Greg is saying by a show of hands? By a show of hands, does anyone out there believe Greg, who is a Trump supporter? Does any you see this,
Oh,
Greg?
Andy's a Trump supporter. Don't forget that.
Yeah, yeah, no. So look, you see that? Please put a no or put a number one in the chat if you don't believe Greg, right? Put a number one because see, Greg, what you do, and this is what I run into is you're in denial.
Let's ask the mob. What do they think about the Salem witch trials?
No, 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 Greg. Let's stay. Can you just stay on one topic
Yeah.
for us? All
How about
right.
you come to my live and we'll do a poll?
I don't mind going to your live, Greg. I really don't. But Greg, honestly, the thing here is this. You gave Trump a rating of an A. You remember this,
Yeah.
and I really think you told me the truth. So I asked you, what would you rate him in the way that he handled the pandemic? And you said no answer, and instead you're sending me down this rabbit hole on these other
Rabbit
things.
hole? I'm
Yeah.
answering your questions, bro.
Okay, well give me the
Then don't bring
answer.
me down the rabbit hole if you don't want me to answer the
Okay,
questions.
so let's stick to it. What would you give Trump's rating of the how he handled the pandemic?
In the time of it or looking back on it?
Just just what you know now, rate him.
For
Why
oh
is
for
this so
well,
hard?
hindsight is 2020.
Okay, let's do
Hindsight, we
both.
would have in
Let's do
hindsight,
it
what I
your
wish we
way.
would have done is
Let's do it your
absolutely
way.
nothing. We should have done what a lot of these
Greg, let's
NATO
do it your
countries did,
way.
which
You
was
see,
absolutely nothing. All
Greg,
of the remedies that we used, lockdowns and everything, hurt more people than anything the pandemic could have ever done.
okay, so Greg, can we get an answer?
That was my
A?
answer.
No, no, no. It's A through F. What would you give him?
Based on hindsight,
You're gonna do it both ways, based on what you know now, right? Hindsight, and at the time when we didn't know anything. What would you give him?
at the time of being, I give him an A.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
in hindsight, I guess we'd give him probably a C.
Oh, wow. Okay. Wow. Wow.
But hindsight is always a C
So,
because
so the
none of us have time machines, you know?
so him lying to the American people about the dangers of COVID, you're
Oh,
saying that's an
what are the
A.
dangers of COVID?
You saw what they are.
No, no, tell me the numbers. What's the danger? What's the mortality rate?
Almost 1 million people died under
No, no,
Trump.
what's the mortality rate?
You tell me.
No, you're the expert, you said.
He was on the phone with Bob Woodward, right? And he said he lied to the American people. Why?
He wants to lie. What did he lie about?
The dangers of it, that it was killing people. People were losing their lives at a very high rate. It wasn't going to go away like he said it was. Going by summer, it didn't do that. He
Okay,
knew it
so
was
let
deadly.
me give you
He
some
knew it
math.
was deadly.
All right, let me give you some math because you don't know the math, right?
No, 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 no. I don't
Don't
trust
give
your
the math.
math.
Stay away from the
No,
numbers.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I just need you to stay
Better off to
on
stay away
topic.
from the reality and the mathematics of it, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Just
yeah,
say it
yeah,
was he did it wrong, but don't get into it.
yeah. Well, I would say I would trust you, but everything I've
Once
asked
you
you,
start
you've
hearing
gone
me
back.
speak, you'll see how much I know about this topic.
Okay, well, you gave him an A in terms of how he
Right.
handled the pandemic. Let's move
And
on. So,
you want to see the reason why?
okay, let's go.
Okay. So first off, well, let me ask you this. Are you familiar with the Great Barrington Declaration?
No,
You're not.
no. But what does that
Okay.
got to do with anything?
Well, it tells me how much you're into this. Okay. So the Great Barrington Declaration was authored by three prominent medical professionals in the United States. Jay Bhattacharya from Stanford, Martin Kulldorff from Harvard, Sunitra Gupta from Oxford, and then 20,000 biology scientists signed it in agreement.
Okay, I'm
What that
listening.
article goes about, and anybody can pull it up and see all this that it says, what this article goes about is how we should have handled COVID and the lies that happened with how we treated COVID, right?
Got it.
Like forcing children to get the inoculation for COVID, even though influenza is 10 times more deadly to children under 18, right? When you're
Okay.
looking at the probability of mortality from COVID-19, when you start at 75, the mortality rate or the survival rate at 75 years old, it's 99.95%. And that
Uh,
mortality rate dissipates every year down you go. Okay? A problem that anybody can look up right now with Deborah Birx. Deborah Birx says, how are we categorizing COVID deaths? She said, and anybody can pull this up, she says it from the pulpit, we are categorizing it as a COVID death if there was
Wait a
COVID
second.
in their
Wait a
system
second.
at the
So
time
I'm
of death.
okay. So I'm reading. I don't know much about this, but the information that I said that they're saying there are some flaws about this. They're saying that
Well, if
this
you don't know much
the
about it, I
Great
don't know
Bar
why you
it
have such
says
a
the
strong
Great
opinion.
Barrington Declaration, and it says they make a lot of assumptions in there that include children and younger adults have much lower risk of serious health consequences. Herd immunity can be achieved by allowing such risk populations to become infected and thereby achieve natural resistance, and higher populations
Hmm.
should and can be protected from community transmission. And the negative consequences of a shutdown outweigh the negative consequences ensued following. And they're saying each of these assumptions is flawed and untested.
Who is saying?
I'm just reading information on the internet.
So that, well, I can tell you the earth is flat from reading the internet. Doesn't mean it's true.
That's my whole
I'm
point.
giving you a citation of some of the three most prominent epidemiologists in the world and 20,000 biological
Yeah,
scientists
yeah,
that signed it.
but
If
here's
you're
the
going to
thing.
disagree with 20,000 biologists and some of the most prestigious embryologists in the world, that's on you.
I'm giving you information that I just read. You know, when people give me information, Greg, I don't just go along with it, right? We got to compare it and contrast it, right? And that's
But,
all I'm doing. I'm
but
giving
you're
you some
scrutinizing
alternative.
it when you
Of
admitted you don't
course,
actually know about it.
because you just told
You
me
read
about
one
it.
paragraph off of the internet and said, well, now I know it's not true.
So, in other words, there's some assumptions that this report has that they're saying have not been proven. So, again, I still think it's too early, Greg, to be quite honest, to say we know everything there is about it. And if you were really into science, you would understand that, right? You know that nothing is completely
Ask
absolute.
me any question. I guarantee I know more
So,
about this
no,
subject
no,
than
no,
you
no,
do.
no, no, no,
And
because
you can
no,
use
no,
the
no,
internet as your
no.
source if you'd like.
No,
I
because you
guarantee
said you
I can
gave.
answer any question, and I know more about this than you 10 times over with
I
you
listen.
having the internet.
I get that, but you said earlier you gave Trump an A, and now
Yeah.
you're giving, or you gave him an A at first, and now you're saying he gets a C. So
In
to
the
me,
in the time of
yeah,
doing it
yeah,
without
yeah,
hindsight, I give him an A. If we have
right. So
hindsight
what that
2020
shows
vision,
me,
I
Greg,
give him a C.
Greg, what that shows me is that your knowledge has changed over the course of time.
Doesn't all?
That's my whole point. Why am I going to go along with this nonsense you're just showing me when we know we're not
Tell me
even
what
at
the
the end?
nonsense part was.
I just told you that they're making a lot of assumptions in this
Give me
so-called
one thing
article.
that was nonsense, just
They were
one.
talking about herd immunity can be achieved
Yes.
through this whole COVID thing. They're saying
Yes.
that has not been proven. So let's
Wait, wait,
not
wait,
get
wait,
into
wait,
the
wait, 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 wait,
science.
wait,
Let's
wait, wait,
not get
wait,
into
wait,
the
wait.
science all the way because
What?
I'm
Wait,
not an expert.
you don't believe
No,
in herd immunity?
they're saying when it comes to COVID, that has not been proven.
So you agree with Anthony Fauci, right?
I say Anthony Fauci did a better job than Donald Trump.
Anthony Fauci
So
believes in herd immunity.
okay, great, great,
Anthony Fauci will tell you that
great.
herd immunity is real.
So what is your background in, Greg? Let's just get
I
into it.
barely passed the third grade.
Okay, so let's move on. All right, that's why I said I don't like arguing with you. All right,
Well,
especially about
because
stuff.
this is a losing case for you because
If I
I
was
know a
a,
lot about this and you're getting uncomfortable.
if I was an epidemiologist, I would say let's have a solid debate. But what I don't want to do is make any kind of suggestions out here that might give people, especially your friends, the wrong
So
ideas.
why are you making suggestions?
Because you, first of all,
Wait, you just said I'm
no, no,
not an
no,
epidemiologist, so I'm not going to be out here making
yeah.
assumptions,
Are
yet you're
you?
making assumptions.
Are you? Are you?
Am I? Yes, I'm making assumptions. You
No,
don't
no,
have
no,
to
no,
be an
no.
epidemiologist.
Are you an epidemiologist?
I'm not, no. I
Okay,
barely
so
passed
then
third grade.
okay, so yeah, anyway.
Unfortunately, though,
So
I do
let's
know
get
how to
back
read.
let's get back to what I was originally talking about because again, my main question to you, and you can see it there, is MAGA winning or losing. And so far, we've gotten into how you rated Donald Trump, right? You said he
Mhm.
gets an A. I
Yeah,
asked you about the pandemic, and now you're
yeah.
some sort of guru in terms of coronavirus and how they work. I'm pretty sure you know
Thank
where it
you.
originated. I'm pretty sure you feel you know where it originated, but
Yes,
you
I
clearly
think we all do.
yeah, okay. And so you say he has an A for the way that he handled it uh, during the pandemic, but looking back, you're going to give him a C. Okay.
Hindsight, yeah.
Okay, great. So let's get into some other things that Donald Trump did. All right. So you said
All right.
he did a good job. What did you say? Protecting the border.
Yes.
Okay.
Remain in Mexico.
Yeah. Okay. And so why would you? Did he stop immigration at all, or did he pass any legislation at all?
Yeah, remain in Mexico.
Okay. And but it didn't really stop migrants from entering the country.
Uh,
And
why are you
as a
saying that?
matter of fact, wasn't he separating parents from their children with this policy?
Yeah, usually when you break the law, you get separated from your children.
So you're okay with that?
Yeah, I don't think serial killers should have their kids in the cell with them,
I mean, to me, I just fundamentally
or
disagree with
child
you on that.
traffickers, or
Yeah,
fentanyl
yeah.
traffickers, or
And so my question is, he might have
child
slowed
sex
it down.
slavery traffickers. I don't think having their kids in there would be a great idea.
Okay.
That's just
So
me, though. That's just me,
yeah.
crazy,
Well,
crazy
well,
conservative here.
well. Listen, if you want to talk crime, you know where this is going. Don't try me on that one.
Is fentanyl the number one cause of death, 18 to 45?
You tell me.
Yes.
You tell me. So let me
Yeah.
ask this question, Greg.
Fentanyl is the number one cause of death, 18 to 45,
Okay.
since the diminishing of Remain in Mexico. What do you think about that?
Well, I think that it's evidence that there's a larger issue in this country, right?
Why did
Wait.
fentanyl
You're gonna
why when
ask
Donald
me.
Trump
Wait a
why
second.
when Donald Trump
Wait a
left
second.
office?
Wait a second. You're gonna ask me a question, and then I'm
Yes.
trying to answer it. All right.
Well, I thought you
So
just answered it.
no. When it comes to any kind of substance abuse that's going on in this country, I think it's evidence that we have a larger
You're
issue in
missing
this
the
country.
point. That's
No,
not the point I'm making.
there's a supply and demand issue,
No,
right?
you're missing the point. Can I give you what the point is?
No.
I
Are we
can't give you
gonna
what the point is.
tell me
Maybe
what
you
the
should
issue
tell
is?
me what my argument is supposed to be.
Well, the number one cause of death in this country, let's look it up. What did you say it was? You said it's fentanyl. I'm looking
Yeah.
it up. It says heart disease.
Well, check if fentanyl is the number one cause of death, 18 to 45.
I just told you it's heart disease.
Well, then you're not checking.
So, Greg,
So if
everything that I checked you on and looked into, and again, you're the one that's
everything you
telling,
checked me
yeah,
on,
everything that you've recommended I look into, we go in there and there's an alternative source of information
there's an
that just,
alternative to the Earth being round.
oh God. So Greg, let's get into this.
That doesn't
Okay.
create a point.
So you mentioned crime earlier. All right. What do you think about, with your expertise? You're one of the most intelligent Trump supporters I've talked to,
Who
right?
told you?
I don't know. Donald Trump has some court cases and some legal problems going on. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so like Fannie Willis, that lady who's banging the private investigator who says she was going to indict Trump before he was even elected, that lady?
You got any proof of that?
Yeah, it's on video.
No, really. Show us.
Yeah,
Because
God.
because last time I went to YouTube, right? You said Trump didn't say, what is it? Disinfectant. You said he didn't say disinfectant. I pulled it up. You started talking about this.
Oh, you mean the
You started
90% of what I
talking about
said, which
you
was
started talking
him
about the
talking about
Barrington Declaration.
UV light, which you said was not true, which was 90% of what he said. And then I told you how disinfectants work in medicine, and then you just kind of casually walked around that.
I
That
mean,
that
you
bring up,
haven't told the truth
that was
about a
me being
single thing.
wrong.
Show the video. Can you
Which
show the
you want the
video?
video you want the video of Fannie Ellis talking about how she was going to indict Trump?
Yeah, Fannie Ellis.
Okay. How much time do you have? So it's gonna take me a
I'm
while to go up
listening.
and point at
I'm
my
listening.
computer.
Yeah. Show me Fannie Ellis.
You want me to show you a video?
Whatever it is that you're saying supports what you're doing, what
Well,
she's
I don't
doing.
know what would suffice for you.
You said
You want me to
you
you want me to
said
send
she.
you a link? You want me to send you a screenshot? You want me to give you a video? Like what would make it count for you?
How about this? Just get on YouTube or wherever you find your information and hit play.
Okay. And then but if I go through this work of doing it, you're gonna change your mind, right? And say, Greg, I was wrong.
No,
You're not. So what's the
no.
point of me showing you the evidence?
So you can prove what you're saying is true.
But it's not proof to you. You said even if I show you the proof, you won't say you're wrong. So what's the point?
Jesus Christ, Greg, why is this so
You
hard?
have to be genuine. If you're proven wrong, you have to change your mind.
Greg,
That's how
Greg,
logic works.
Greg, listen. I don't got all day. All right. I've really heard you out. All right. And everything that you have brought up, I've actually just gone the extra step to double check it.
The 5-second Google, man, gosh, I would hate to see your term papers.
Yeah. So you have no evidence of whatever it is you were
Honey,
talking
the
about.
internet says it's a lie.
With Fonnie, you call her Fonnie Ellis. Okay, right. So
Fanny.
yeah. Okay, whatever you want to call her. All right. So you have
What?
no
It's
evidence
her
of
name, but okay.
you have no evidence of any of the stuff you were trying to accuse her of, right? And ladies
Wait,
and gentlemen,
that's the thing. You want me to give you that evidence.
no,
So then what are you asking for?
no. I was just asking if you're familiar with it.
How would I know her name?
Well, you don't know her
How
name.
would I know that I could show you a citation of where she said it? But you
You
don't
don't.
want to see it. You self-admitted said, I don't care if it's real.
No. Here's the thing. You got her name wrong. It's Fonnie Willis, and you couldn't say it
I
right.
just said that. Fannie Willis.
Greg, you are as Donald Trump is. You're a
Now it
liar.
goes to the insults because you have no argument. Go
No,
ahead.
no, 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 no. You're just lying.
Oh, I am. Name one thing I lied about.
Everything.
No, name one.
I just told
No,
you.
one thing.
I'm not playing that game with you.
Exactly,
All
because
right.
you can't.
So
You
let's.
can't play the game.
It's just not my
You have the
style.
table. You can dunk on me right now for one thing.
I
Here's your
I could
opportunity.
have.
Here's the
Greg,
ball. Go for
Greg.
the dunk. What's the one thing I lied about?
Well, you mentioned Fonnie Ellis. You said that was her name.
Fanny?
No, and it's
Okay.
Fonnie. And
Okay.
it's Fonnie. And it's Fonnie.
Okay. That's the lie. Okay. Well, hey, good
Yeah,
luck to
yeah.
you. I hope you like the Democrats. They've been treating black people great for decades. I think it's a great thing. But I got a family to get back to.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, all right, ladies and gentlemen, there you go. That is our friend Greg. All right. right, ladies and gentlemen. What we just witnessed right there was a deranged Trump supporter. You can't make this stuff up, folks. Let's go on and talk to our next panelist. Who do we have here next, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the Closet of Truth. All right. Uh, Goyo the Gringo. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes. What's going on? Welcome to the Closet of Truth.
As a fellow Greg, I would just like to applaud Greg. He totally destroyed you, bro.
Oh, okay. And tell me how.
He was spitting facts. He understands and has so much knowledge that you just couldn't even comprehend
Mm,
it.
mm,
And I'm sure if you go out and now do some research, you'll see. So,
Like what? Like
nice
what?
day.
Like what? Well, oh, you don't want to back it up. You just wanted to come up here and what, jerk them off a little bit, Goyo?
Listen, dude, listen.
Okay.
He completely had you on the fence. You were just rope a dope, and there was nothing you could do.
Is that what you believe?
I absolutely.
You're still one of these people like you believe Greg was right about everything, right?
The way he was describing COVID to you, Trump, this is the first time we've had, let's say in 100 years, we had a pandemic of this magnitude. Would you agree to that?
Yeah.
Okay. And so I think Trump handled the pandemic cautiously.
Right, but you saw the problem here was he said he gave him an A for the way that he handled it, right? And then I said even though he lied to the American people about it, right? And that last guess, you could tell he didn't want to answer that. So it is what it is.
I would say if he lied to the American people to not cause a panic, I would understand that and be okay with it.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? And so it doesn't matter that millions of Americans lost their lives because of that lie, right? And so this is where the conversation goes from. It's really a conversation about things that are, I would say, morally acceptable and things that are morally unacceptable. For me, it's morally unacceptable for the president of the United States to lie to the American people just to CYA.
Okay, let's back that up a bit because you're equating his lie to deaths of people,
Yeah.
and that's making assumptions. That's anecdotal. That's
I
making
mean,
that had he said anything different,
mm,
those peoples wouldn't have died, and you don't have a way to back that up.
I do. You ever
So
you ever heard the concept of like a warning? You understand how a warning works?
yeah, I understand a warning.
Don't you think a warning is warranted in in situations like that? But oh, because it's election year and he wants to get reelected, he's not going to tell the American people.
You think that COVID should have been handled more severely than it was?
I don't know what your definition of severely is, but I think the response that we got from Donald Trump was very, very poor, right? And you saw the previous guest, his answer for why Donald Trump handled it the way that he did was, well, he had, Dr. Fauci, Deborah Bird, and all these other folks. He didn't want to place any of the accountability on Donald Trump, right? And that's kind of the issue here.
I say that the president is not an expert and that the president is getting information. I'm not at the other Greg's level, so just to state that
Greg,
that's clear.
right, but Greg doesn't know what he's talking about, right? And that's why I just let Greg continue to talk because
No,
everything he brought up, it is something, but I've just pulled up a lot of different information on the internet that shows that the angle he was trying to sell wasn't the way it really is, right?
no, is very well educated in that issue and many others. I've seen
I,
his over
so
many.
you think
But let's
Greg is smart? You think Greg is smart? You think Greg
yes,
is smart? I asked him. I said, Greg, why didn't Trump get reelected? And you know what he said? It was rigged. You think that's a smart answer?
I think that COVID is why Trump didn't get elected.
You think that's the only reason Trump didn't get
No,
reelected?
I
Do
didn't.
you?
Did I say the only reason? No, I
Oh,
just that is one of the reasons. Okay, I'll use more words if that's helpful. One of the reasons why Trump didn't get elected is because of COVID.
okay.
I
What do
don't
you?
think anybody would have gotten reelected after COVID had happened. no incumbent would have gotten reelected.
Well, I don't think that's really something you can say yes or no to, right? Because I think him dismantling the department in the government that was supposed to be the pandemic response, him doing that actually opened him up to actually perform the way that he did even more. I don't know if any other president would have done that, right? I mean, there's a lot of factors that go into this. I also think, a lot of your friends say the economy was doing real good while Trump was in office. They had more money in their pocket, right? So I think if if you look at it, Trump really should have had a second term. But for some strange reason, he didn't. And a lot of times I hear people say it was COVID. I think it was maybe COVID, but perhaps it was just him as a leader.
I don't think, well, the country, the way the country is divided, uh, how do I phrase that? The way the country is divided, a Republican winning in the first place is a stretch,
Well,
but to have
when
happen or anything else happen at the time is a nail in the coffin.
but when you say the country is divided, like, okay, well, what do you think is causing the division?
Well, Trump wasn't president before the division happened. And this country is being pitted one against the other based on issues.
So, okay, so you don't think Trump bears any responsibility for the division in
Everybody
this?
bears responsibility at some level.
So you said it wasn't happening when Trump was president. It was happening before. When? Are you saying Obama?
No, I'm saying you can go far as back as the political process as you want.
Mm,
We were divided when Bill Clinton was president.
mm,
We were divided when I voted for Ross Perot, which caused Bill Clinton to win.
mm,
I was voting libertarian.
mm. Okay. Okay. And so what's going on in our society today, though, that you would say is causing the most division?
We have a fundamental difference of those that want the government to provide for and those of us who want the government to stay out of the way.
Mm. And which one are you?
I'm I'm of I'm of get the government out of my way, reduce my taxes, let me have choices in my purchases.
Mm. Okay. Okay. So do you feel that way when it comes to women having access to their reproductive freedom for their bodies? How do you feel about that? Should the government get involved with that or not?
I think that the decision to make that state rights versus federal rights is a wise move.
Mm.
I
So that's
do.
more government enforcement, because right, because when a woman chooses to take ownership of her bodily autonomy, the government is getting involved. So and that's because some states are making that the decision, right?
So you're saying more rights, more government interference would be both the state making interference in reproductive health and the federal government. If you take the federal government out of the picture, that's less
You
government.
don't consider the state to be a part of government, is what you're saying.
I do consider what I'm saying is the state is already involved and the federal government is already involved. So if you take the power out of the federal government's hands and you just put it
Mm,
at this level, that's less government.
mm. I don't follow that, and I think that's where the disconnect is. But I do recognize that folks on your side, they believe that, right? But I don't personally believe that. I believe if you want less government, then they should get out of the way and let women do whatever they need to do for themselves, just like you would want them to do for you. I'm pretty sure you don't want the government in any of your business like that, right? You don't want them telling
The,
you what to do when it comes to your
well,
reproductive
let's wait.
abilities.
Let's put the issue. Let's put the issue back to where it belongs, which is abortion, correct? Because we're talking about rights, but really what we're talking about abortion.
Well, are you talking about access to healthcare? Because that's also what it is, right?
No, no,
That's
I'm talking. Let's talk specifically about the main
that's
issue,
that
which
that's part of their healthcare. You
that
understand
it,
that's a part of a woman's healthcare?
you want to wrap that into healthcare because you want to distract from the true issue, which is protecting human life.
But the thing is, I hear that argument being made, but do you really care about human life?
Of
Because
course, I care.
for instance, Biden and Kamala Harris, there's passing legislation to attack childhood poverty, right? And the Republicans are cutting that. They're taking the funding away from the children having access to lunches through the, they're taking that money away. So do you really care about kids?
Of course, you care about kids.
Biden's trying to get student loan debt forgiven, right?
Are, are,
Do you really care about kids?
are,
Do
are we
you?
still talking about abortion? Are we going to move on to free and reduced lunch, or where are we going to talk
No,
about?
no, 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 no. You said something along the lines of you care about protecting life. And I'm trying to say, well, one, the woman's life is important to you, right?
Right. You're
Wait,
expanding.
wait, wait. Is the
Go ahead.
woman's right is the woman's life important to you? To me, it is.
Of course. And if her life is
Okay,
in because of a pregnancy, then she should have the medical treatment necessary to save her life.
so what is it to you though? You don't who's the one that makes that determination? Do you think she should be able to make that determination on her own?
That should be a doctor. That should be a doctor determining if her life is in danger. I'm not a physician.
But you know your body better than anyone else.
No, I don't. I'm not a physician.
But you
I don't know what
okay, but
I
uh,
I don't know anything in my body is doing.
okay, so if you're sick, do you need a doctor to tell you you're sick? For instance, I'm
Yes,
just using this. So you wake up with
it,
a you wake up with a
I'm
sore throat.
for every little thing that I think is something wrong with me based on what I Googled off the internet. No, I need to go to a doctor, have them diagnose what problem I'm having, and tell me how to fix it.
Why would you go to the doctor to begin with, though?
I'm
Because
having pain in my jaw. I go to the doctor to see what's the problem.
you see how that works. And I'm not, and I really believe that's what you would do. And this is the point, right? It's your body is going to tell on you first, right? Your body's going to let you know there's a problem, and then you're going to take the next step to try to get it treated. So I'm bringing that up because I'm saying to you, just like you have the freedom to do that, women should have the freedom to do that. That's why it's a healthcare issue. And I
You go.
get your connection that you're
They
trying
have
to protect the life. I get that you say you're trying to protect the life, but it's just to me funny that you're ignoring the life of the woman in the process.
no.
You don't
I'm ignoring the life of the woman. I'm and this okay. So this is where the division. This is what causes our division. Is you want to push the issue into other areas that we're more specifically focused on life, preserving the life, and you say life as in now you say, well, what about her mental health? Right? Is that where we're going with this? What about
health
things
is not just one particular component, right? It could be mental, it could be a combination of that, it could be part of your spiritual. I mean, whatever it takes for you to be healthy as a human, right? That's what I'm talking about. And I believe a person should be able to make that decision for themselves.
they should be able to make that decision for themselves, except when it comes to taking another human's life?
Right, but that's what your claim is, but you're ignoring the life of the person that's actually doing the work, carrying a person that's potentially going to get carried to term.
Not ignoring that person's life, but if one
I mean,
person
and to be honest, you and I, we're men. I don't necessarily want to go too deep into this because I feel bad about that, right? And perhaps we'll have some a woman come up here and talk with us if we want to continue the conversation about
I
abortion.
would say we got off track. Really, I wanted to talk about really what I wanted to talk about what Greg had said about Trump and COVID specifically, and I think we covered that too.
Yeah, my position, and here's the thing, right? On my morning show, I'm usually just hammered down, going in. The Closet of Truth, it's my real opportunity to get to know people. And I got to know how Greg is, right? He feels like he dog walked me, which is great, but I'll tell you this, he hasn't changed a single thing going on over here, right? Um, I also recognize he refused to listen, right? He just wanted to get his point off. He wanted to show he was somehow an expert. But at the end of the day, I still feel Greg is very disconnected from the realities that many Americans in this country are tapped into, right? A lot of Americans don't believe this stuff. A lot of Americans think Donald Trump mismanaged the pandemic. I'm one of them. I don't like the fact that he lied just to try to get reelected. I don't think he was brilliant by suggesting injecting disinfectant or hitting the body with a light. That to me shows somebody that's completely incompetent.
And Do you see the other side of that argument though?
I recognize that other, everything, right, has the
Because
other side to it,
this
right?
is
I
where
understand that concept.
this is where the splitting hairs. Okay, so this is where the splitting hairs on those arguments divides us so much further. If we can have conversations and bring it more towards the middle and not get into these, like you see, do you think that I handled this a little bit differently in the way I discuss things with you? Correct?
Yeah,
A little more right. I'm a Greg also. That was the main thing. Come on and say, hey, I'm another Greg. But
yeah.
this is where the country is getting so split down the middle is because we attack each other on these things in which we split hairs about. This guy says this foolish thing and that guy says that foolish thing. And then we twist it out into a million other things when really it's immaterial. And
Yeah,
you
in some cases.
right. You say that he lied. Okay, fine. He lied. He might have I could say that he downplayed the issue, but I'm not going to make as big an issue on it as it's played out to be. I think he
I
did the
mean, and I can understand that's where you're coming from, right? And so then to my response to that is, yeah, I see that point, but for me personally, on a personal level, that is an alarm bell because the next question is, what else is he lying to us about, right? It's really hard for me to hitch my wagon behind or with someone that I know has no problem lying, especially about something that is as dangerous as that thing was.
right. I think a politician, we can say on both sides that our politicians have lied to us over and over again down the board. Thinking about, I did not have.
Listen. Everybody brings up this whole both sides thing, right? And I agree with you. Corruption is everywhere in this world, right? There's no such thing as a perfect human being. So I just don't like to mix that up with the real issue here, which is you would have to actually say that Donald Trump is a unique political person, right? He's a unique political figure, right? He's not, as you like to say, a career politician. All right, I'll give you that. But his way of doing business, his way of conducting himself is definitely a cause for an alarm, right? And it's whether you're talking politics or outside of politics. There's a lot of overwhelming evidence to support that, right?
It is it. You say sometimes it's not the things that we need to hear, but the things that we're supposed to hear. So was he the type of politician that we needed at that time to give the country a wake up call?
Okay.
Uh,
Okay. Does that go beyond Donald Trump or does it go also into President Biden?
I think I think that like I would have rather seen Pete Buttigieg get elected besides Biden. I think that
I mean,
I think I'm not so I'm a Republican. I'm a libertarian that votes Republican because there's no other choice. But I lost
well, there are other choices.
I lost a lot of disrespect. I had a lot of disrespect, anyways, for Democrats because they went the safe route and they voted in a name brand politician just
Who?
because Biden, just because they could win, rather than
Wow.
going with something that would be fresh and different and new ideas.
Okay, so I have a list of all of Biden's accomplishments, all right? And we can go into that, but
Yeah,
I would like to point out to you
like
here's my
Christmas with
huh?
it's but there
I would buy that if Biden just got in the White House and didn't do anything, but he has passed a lot of consequential legislation in just one term. Him and Kamala Harris that is clearly helping the American people. Our economy is doing pretty good. We got out of the pandemic, right? Wouldn't you say that was quite impressive that we got out of a very nasty pandemic and our inflation is pretty much the lowest around the world?
I would
Isn't that impressive?
we
Isn't that impressive?
this is one thing that even if Trump becomes president again, this is something that our country does. They will say, well, this is all because of Trump, or this is all because of Biden. They will say that the economy is doing so well if Trump gets elected just because this is what Biden happened. The economy is doing well because COVID is over, plain and simple.
Okay, but let's take the plain and simple. COVID came while Trump was president,
Right?
right?
Hmm.
By the time Trump left, the country was going in a downward direction, right?
It was doing downward direction because of COVID.
It was under Trump though.
It
This is plain. We're talking plain and simple, right? Let's just keep it A1.
no, the economy was going down because of COVID.
But Trump was the president.
It doesn't matter who was the president. If Biden was the president at that time, the economy still would have went down. COVID took that out. Now, if the economy
But
was kept open and we didn't close everything like Florida did, then maybe the economy would have been doing better. But
so if it doesn't matter who the president was, what is the issue about who's president then? It doesn't matter. Are you saying it doesn't matter if it's Trump or Biden? They don't have any impact?
they do have impact, and I think the impact that I'm seeing is with our perceived strength. I'm ex-military.
Okay. Okay, well, thank you for your service, all right? And I do mean that. But can we get back to plain and simple? Why was it so hard for you to just say, yes, Trump was president when the pandemic came, and yes, Trump was president when the country was going in a downward direction? Why is it so hard for you to say that?
I think
Because,
it does it. You're adding context of Trump into that to make it more important, which I don't necessarily need that.
but I mean, okay, so how would you describe it then, right? Meaning Trump shut the country down, right? Remember that
Yeah.
during the pandemic. What would you say that? How would you describe that?
Well, what
Because I can use your language to describe it. I just want to know how you would describe it and what would make you feel more comfortable.
I'm not seeing a question there. I guess I'm missing it. I'm a soft.
I mean, because
Oh, I think a little differently then. But anyways,
well, what I'm trying to get at is I wanted to say, well, you saw the way the country was going in terms of our economy by the time Trump left office, right? It was going down, and we had social unrest in our country, right? And we're talking about January 6th now. That's how he left. To me, that's going to go down in the history books when people look at Donald Trump's legacy. These are the things they're going to remember, right? So, with that being what President Biden inherited, right? This is kind of my thing. President Biden inherited that,
mhm.
right? And now we see where we're at right now. The economy's on the up and up. The stock market's doing pretty good from what I've heard, all right?
What are interest
Uh
rates right now?
people unemployment is pretty much at a pretty much low, all right, and that's for blacks and Hispanics and folks with disabilities, right? And so with that understanding, we saw two different leaders and how they responded to a situation, right? And one would this is why when you say, well, Biden is more establishment, I'm like, I would believe that if he just got in there and sat in the White House and didn't do anything. But he's passed a lot of legislation. He's done a lot to help get this country out of that situation that we were in when he took over.
Yeah,
And why not just give him credit for that?
I would just disagree. I don't think any of the economic recovery has anything to do with Biden.
What about the 1.2 trillion dollar bipartisan infrastructure?
I,
That's jobs for everybody. That's jobs. That
that
that's that's allowing people to put bread on the table at home.
that's pushing money into the economy from the government that's coming out of our pockets, and the money that was pumped into the economy during COVID only exacerbated the inflation rate.
Well, what contributes to inflation? From what I understand, it's what
It,
more
it's
people
too,
with jobs getting higher wages, huh?
it's too much spending power. It's too much money in the people's hands that's being spent. They give out all those checks and all that money.
So you're saying the economy isn't doing great. I get because I think I hear what you're saying, but you're putting all of this out to say that the economy isn't doing great. right
It's
now.
not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying
Oh,
I'm saying that the economy is making a recovery.
3.7% unemployment rate. That's what
What
Yazzie
was
said.
the
Say
unemployment rate
3.7.
before COVID hit?
Why do you want to bring that into it?
Because it's important. You want to bring in a data point, which is the president plus what was going on. And I'm saying let's talk about the economy without the context of a president to see if that's truly the data analysis that we.
Okay, I guess I see what you're doing, right? You're saying let's look at the way the economy was before COVID hit, right?
Mhm.
Are you familiar with like sports? What is your favorite
I
sport?
don't follow sports at all.
None.
Nothing. Mm-mm. I'm,
Okay,
I'm a
I'm trying to work with you on
right.
this,
You
right?
can use a
But
reductio if you
if
want, but
huh?
use a reductio if you want.
Three. What is it? Your signal went out. I
I
didn't hear
said
you.
you can use a reductio if you would like.
Oh, I
Use
don't.
a
What is that?
metaphor.
Huh?
You're wanting to use a sports metaphor.
Yeah. I'll say this. I'll say this. You ever heard the saying, "It's not over until it's over"?
Hmm.
Okay. So what you're saying to me is, and we'll just say you have a sports team and they're playing. It's third quarter, your team is winning, right? Last quarter of the game, fourth quarter, the other team comes back and wins, and it's an upset, right?
Hmm.
You ever seen anything like that play out?
Yeah, sure. I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So what you're saying is you're the type of person that would say, well, we still won because did you see how we were performing in the first, second, and third quarters? We were winning. And it was just that fourth quarter that we did really bad. But if you get that out of the way, we're winners. And you would really go out there and say, you're the winner.
I and see that's the thing. This okay. So in this situation, us calling each other winners or losers is what's splitting the country.
Because one of us needs to acknowledge that we're winning, and another side needs to understand they're not winning, they're losing.
And you think that we're losing because of president versus COVID.
I'm the question is an open-ended question. Personally, I believe you're losing because yes, your leader Donald Trump is the biggest loser. That's what I believe, and I have a lot of proof behind that.
Do you think?
But let's get back to that little metaphor that I used. Right, you understood where I was coming from when I said that.
Sure. Hmm.
Like Trump got 4 years to do his thing.
Hmm.
Okay, great. Maybe the first 3 years he was okay.
Hmm.
But that last year, he just showed he showed he wasn't built to handle the position, and he lost terribly. That to me makes him a loser.
And I don't blame what happened in the last year on him. I blame it on COVID. I wouldn't blame it either. I wouldn't blame it on anybody. It was unprecedented.
Yeah, I get that. So I mean, and even though you might not blame it on him, I do, and that to me is kind of where the division is.
Hmm.
I won't allow Trump to escape accountability because what are we going to do the next time if he ever is in the White House again? And we need him to produce and perform under pressure. What is he going to
I
do?
think
Is he
he.
going to blame Dr. Fauci?
I
He's going to
think.
blame someone else, his vice president. He's going to lead another, huh?
I say I think he produces under pressure a lot better than Biden does. I think that Biden, if you know elderly people, Biden is not capable of he's not capable.
Yeah. But on the other hand, I know a lot of elderly people who say Biden getting up every day, going to work, being the president of the United States, it's inspiring them to get up and do something to help save our country. So for me, Biden is actually a beacon of hope. He's a symbol of never giving up. Yeah, I actually think he's also the most qualified person to be in this position right now with everything that's going on in this world, right? He's had to be president while at the same time having Donald Trump in the background the entire time, trying to, ruin everything that he's doing. Why couldn't Donald Trump just simply go away and let the president be the president? What's all this sitting on the sidelines shouting and chanting and crying and complaining stuff?
You think that Donald Trump was treated fairly from day one?
Yeah.
So you just want Donald Trump to go away, but before Donald Trump even had a chance, all that the business out to get him just started from the Democrats. You never gave him a chance. You never let him pass any bills.
Whose fault is that? I mean, you said that, I mean, he could have passed the bills. And here's my thing. Like I said, I got a list of things or legislation Biden has passed, right? Over 30 of them. And there's a lot more I just don't have it on my list. I firmly believe that if Donald Trump wouldn't have been on Twitter all the time, going after people he perceived were his enemies that really didn't matter, he probably would have been able to get a lot done. A lot. And if you think he did whatever you think he accomplished, he probably could have did 10 times that if he would have been able to focus, ignore the hate, and put his head down, do his job, and zip it. If he really cared about this country. And you know that too. But being on Twitter all day, wasting all that time on social media, yeah, that'll open you up to being investigated. And I think, actually, I know a lot of the stuff Donald Trump is experiencing and going through, it's self inflicted. You know that, right?
He needs to get out of his way sometime. Sure, yeah,
Yeah,
right.
yeah, because right now they say it's the Democrats that are actually trying to get him. Actually, it's not. It's really the
No,
Republicans.
it's
The people,
it's the Democrats.
the people.
Sure.
Mike Pence, what do you call him?
No, yeah, I'm not saying okay to back up. I'm not saying that there's not Republicans out to get him, but I'm just saying that the Democrats are the ones in majority that are out to get him. He stirred up Washington, yeah, but
Okay, okay, okay.
going in
Listen,
circles.
listen. I'll just we'll move on, right? Because there's other people
Right,
I want to check in with before I get out. But it
right,
was a good conversation, right?
right.
Good conversation.
Like I said, I'm not anything on the other Greg's level, but you got to hear from another Greg, so
Yeah, yeah. But you and him have one thing in common. You're both wrong, all right? And I do mean that, all right?
well, it's
Later,
brother.
all right, later, ladies and gentlemen. There's Greg, another Greg. He wasn't as irate and upset as the previous one, but still under the MAGA delusion. I see it, and it's strong in him. All right, Greg. Thank you so much for coming up in the box. All right, we will move on to our next panelist. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Let's see who we have here. Thank you, Rick. Thank you, Rick. Yeah, yeah. See, what we're doing is unpacking the MAGA, the MAGA mindset in the closet of truth. All right, we're gonna go in a different direction. Nutty, what's going on? I know. A lot of you are upset. All
Wow.
right, with
Wow.
the
So one thing, let me start here. Let me start here. Both Gregs lost just now.
how?
Both Gregs are losers. They didn't
Why?
win anything because this second Greg, okay, let me start with the second Greg. He talked about he wanted less government, and when you were talking about abortions, you caught him there. You caught him off guard. You gave him that left hook that shocked him, you know?
Mm,
Because
I
you talked
did.
about he said less government, so you just slid abortions right on in there, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then
yeah.
what did he say? Well, that took the federal government out and put the state government in. That's less government. When here's the deal, Greg. Here's the deal. No government, be it federal or state, has the right to tell a person what to do with their body. Period, point blank, end of discussion. Also, Greg, the federal government stepped in 1973 to say that people had a right to privacy, meaning that abortion fell under the right to privacy. Women have the right to see their doctor, to take their doctor's advice, to take their doctor's medical opinion into account as to how to go forth with their health care. When the Supreme Court overturned the Dobbs decision, it said, well, we're going to kick it to the states. That's more government, my friend. That's more government. That's not less government. It ails me and it pains me when I hear this argument, Zeus, about less government. I want the government to let me do my thing and not tax me. But
Yeah,
wait, isn't that the role of government to tax?
yeah.
Isn't that the role of government? But
Yeah.
if you want less taxes, Greg, why is it that your fearless leader did not give you a permanent tax cut, but he gave the people in his wealth class, he gave them a permanent tax cut when yours, Greg, is expiring.
Uh oh.
Your tax cut is expiring, Greg. So how is he working for you? How is he working for Zeus? How is he working for me? How is he working for Greg number one?
They're just they're very passionate about their loyalty to Donald Trump, right, Nutty? I mean, this is what I'm gathering from these conversations. I mean, but some are more passionate than others.
So you did it was a good conversation with Greg number two. Greg number one, a little unhinged, but it was a good conversation. Even though he was
Yeah.
wrong about everything he said, the conversation still needs to be had because even though he conceded to nothing, I do believe that that seed was planted. And once the seed is
Mm.
planted, Zeus, it's going to germinate. Eventually, it's going to
Bingo.
germinate.
Bingo.
So the seed has to be planted. And the fact that you were able, because I was reading the comments, and there's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people talking about how you're so patient, you're this, you're that, the other. But again, that's by design because you're planting those seeds. If we
Bingo.
were,
I'm pouring
yeah,
my.
if we were yelling, screaming, and telling them how stupid and dumb they are, that seed would never get planted.
Yeah. Yeah. The second Greg, he was being reasonable. I'll give him
Yeah,
that.
yeah. So that seed was being planted. So that's what we could. That's all we could hope for at this point. But
All
I
right.
just, I just wish that seed would hurry up and germinate. And to the two Gregs out there, the election has been canceled until 2025. So thank you, Zeus. I'll
All
hop
right.
out and let somebody else get in.
All right, thank you, Nettie. Thank you, Nettie. Let's get some ladies to come up here and speak to Zeus. All right. Dolphin, greetings. How are you doing?
Hi.
Hi,
Uh,
hi. You wanted to talk? You wanted to add to the
yeah,
conversation?
yeah, you're damn straight I did. First off,
Okay.
uh,
3.4, yes.
okay, first off, that guy that was saying about Roe v. Wade, that I
Mm-hmm.
don't think he realizes that that also translate to the HIPAA contract, which say if he were to get cancer and he wanted to get another job, that job can turn him down because of that situation.
Mm.
So, I mean, they're complaining and getting all, uppity up about, abortions. But the thing is, though, is that violates the HIPAA law, which means they can go after them too.
Mm. You hear that, Greg? There's more to this. I mean, yeah. Good point. Thank you for bringing that up.
And
Yeah.
then one other thing that they keep saying is about how Trump handled this stupid pandemic. Okay, I'm going to tell them one thing. Trump threw out the playbook from Obama because he was a person of color. He threw out that pandemic playbook. He could have handled it, but he didn't. And I also have him on video. Well, I'm pretty sure you could find it. It's there. And I quote, yeah, I played it down. I enjoyed playing it down. So,
Mm.
I mean, that too. And then I also have a duet of the 2025 Project 2025, and
Yeah.
I don't get why they don't get what is going to happen as soon as that happens. The taxes are going to go up on us. It's going to be more dangerous for us to live. Um,
Yeah.
and then Trump and them, everybody's going to get more taxes taken away, and we're going to be paying more, and they don't understand that.
I mean, I'm glad that you shared that with them, Dolphin, because I know they don't believe a thing that I say. So I'm hoping that them hearing it from you will really do something to help these Trump supporters figure it out. All right,
Yeah.
Donald Trump doesn't care about any of you.
No, no, he doesn't. Okay. That last guy that was a veteran, thank him for his service. But how in the world can you vote for somebody who constantly puts down our vets? I don't see how in the world. I mean, he made fun of John McCain not being able to lift his arm live on TV.
He called them suckers and losers. He called our own troops suckers and losers, those who get captured.
Oh yeah, and then on top of it, he also when he went to the funeral of this
He
yeah,
does.
when he went to the funeral of this with this lady and her husband had just passed away, he looked at her and said, "I don't get it. What was in it for him?"
Yep. He doesn't respect our men in uniform.
No.
Donald Trump doesn't. He doesn't. And that's again when we start asking Trump supporters to rate Donald Trump. These are the things that I'm looking for. Right? Is MAGA winning or losing? As far as I'm concerned, they're losing.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Trump base is not growing; it's shrinking.
And another thing about this whole drugs coming over the border, I don't want to say the name of the drug because I really don't want to get in trouble. But that particular drug is not coming over by the migrants. It is coming over by
Mm.
U.S. citizens, people. U.S. citizens.
And when I was trying to talk to the other Greg about that, right, I said, there's a demand issue.
Mm-hmm.
It starts here.
Mm-hmm.
Folks in this country are addicted to a lot of things. And as a matter of fact, you just heard about that report where Trump's own White House had those same substances in it, right? You saw
Oh
that?
yeah, yeah.
Ketamine and the F kind, the Ambien, all right, Provigil. Trump has the same substances in. I mean, I said, wow, you can't make this stuff up, folks.
Yeah, yeah, and there's one other thing about the first Greg when he kept saying about the disinfectant or the rubbing alcohol on top of your skin is a heck of a lot different than injecting it. I'm sorry, but he wasn't getting that.
He got it. No, he got it. But what they like to do is gish gallop, and they a lot of them have this obsession with owning the libs and out talking Zeus.
Hmm.
And it's like you can lie as many times as you want, and okay, it doesn't change a thing. They're a bunch of liars.
Hmm. Hmm. Well,
You know how that is.
yeah, yeah. I just wanted to come up and clarify a few things for these people because
Thank you.
they don't realize that this whole situation, as soon as if and God forbid he does not, if he does get back into power, we are all in trouble. Every last one of us. And
Yeah, and a lot of you're right.
I apologize. I'm sorry. I stepped over it. And the one person that I'm actually afraid of it happening to is my big brother. Because both of us, we're both Hispanic. I look YT, but I am not. My brother, on
Mm,
the other hand, is like Puerto Rican Mexican, so he's dark. So,
mm,
I mean, what if,
mm.
you could just pull him over and rip him out of the car?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They don't get it. It's going to start hitting home, right? If it hasn't already, they don't understand that the ill will that they're trying to wish on the Democrats is actually going to hit them first.
Hmm.
That's how this is happening.
Hmm. And then this whole thing, oh my God, Greg Abbott going against the federal government. This is stupid. I it, I don't understand. He is actually arguing about having a state problem, but it is on federal
Federal
land.
problem.
It's federal
Mm,
land.
mm.
So,
Yeah, tell them.
so it just bothers the hell out of me. It really does.
Well, don't let it get to you. I do believe that
I
through
am.
comp. Uh oh. All right, Dolphin. I'm gonna let you go and move on. All right, but nice talking to you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is our good friend Dolphin. All right, let's bring up our next panelist. Oh my goodness, my sister, Miss Morningstar. How are you doing? Uh oh, she's gone. Uh oh, she's gone. Oh my gosh. Trickbait is in here. All right, Trickbait is in here. Greetings.
You know who I am. That dolphin needs to
Yeah.
go swim in the sea because everything
Why?
she said is wrong. Everything she said was wrong. I don't even know where to start. It's crazy. So how are you, Mr.
Jay,
Lips McGee?
why did you want to come in here and talk to me? Haven't you already had enough? Seriously.
Lips?
Ladies
No,
and
Lips
gentlemen, this is
McGee.
one of the Russian bears. This is one of the Russian bears who's obsessed with Zeus.
Oh my
What is
gosh,
it
I
you
don't
would
know
like
about
to
that.
say, Janae?
I don't know about that.
Okay,
Well, what were you guys? She everything she said was like so completely out.
let me ask you this. This is something I'm really serious about getting to the bottom of. Why are you so ashamed to claim that you're MAGA? Uh-oh. I guess J Bear has a call. Uh-oh. She has a call. Did you have a call, J Bear? I dropped you because you have a call. All right, but let me see. Did you want to send another request? Send another request. I think you might be back. All right, let's see. Ladies and gentlemen, this is one of my Russian dares. Yeah, you know what? There's a lot of background noise, Janae.
It's
There's a
because
lot of
I'm so what?
noise.
It's because I'm driving. It's okay. Oh, I mean, I'm riding a bike. Sorry, I'm riding a bike.
You see how you see how easy you just start lying?
I had to call. I was listening to you and I thought to myself, oh my gosh, if she lies one more time, sorry, Dolphin, but you're wrong on so many things that you just said. And I think you guys were talking about, were you talking about Schmishmortion? Is that what you guys were talking about?
We were, but listen, when you get to a place and you can park, just send another request, all right? I'm gonna do that. I don't want to get in trouble, all right, Jay Bear, all right, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, Jay Bear, but we had to do it. We had to do it. Oh my gosh! All right, let's bring up our next panelist, ladies and gentlemen. Who do we have next? Oh, Sean Coley. Greetings. How are you doing, Sean? Greetings. How are you?
Jesus, greetings.
Yes.
Yes, glad to
Yes.
be on your show. I watch you all every morning. Listen, I
All
just I
right.
just want to address something about taxes in this country, right? And I see that is a problem where every time the Republican comes in and they cut taxes, it really affects or let the everything goes up, right? Like the
Yeah.
yeah. So taxes are here for a reason, and the reason why we collect taxes in this country is for road fixing, for healthcare, for whatever the government has to do. And I don't understand why people just come and talk about, oh, taxes are too high, but yet still they want to take part of everything that belongs in the commons. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's
Yeah,
my
yeah,
issue
yeah.
with
They
a lot of these mega demons that you have. You know, they like Trump because he cuts my taxes, but yet still when we need roads to fix and if the road is not fixed, guess what they do? They keep complaining and complaining about a lot of stuff. So that's
Yep.
my issue. That I have.
Yeah. That's the thing. They don't. A lot of folks don't understand how government works, and so they just complain about what they don't have instead of taking advantage of the opportunities that are out there, right? And this is kind of why it's important to just check in with folks out here and see what they really understand.
Yeah, I
All
I mean
right?
they don't really
Yeah.
understand. So and then
They don't trust the government.
they don't trust the
Oh,
government,
I'm sorry.
but they don't trust the government, but they want to complain if the government don't do certain things. You know what I mean? So they just need
Hmm.
to stop complaining and just go ahead with what's going on. Make sure this country is running the proper way rather than to be like, oh, we don't want to pay no taxes. So that's my thoughts right now. Thanks for
Okay.
having me, Jesus.
No problem. No problem. No problem.
Big up
Short and
yourself.
sweet, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Let's go,
Drop me
ladies and
down, sir.
gentlemen. Let's go. All right. Short and sweet. All right. Let's move it along. I see all of you. All right. I'm gonna try to get to everybody, but I just wanted to switch it up. Don't give up on the. Just stay there. All right. Black Goddess.
Greetings. How
Greetings.
are you today?
I'm all right. How are
I'm good,
you?
feeding my grandson. Um, but
Okay.
first of all, I want to say Dolphin was right, and if anybody knows, Dolphin's a very smart fish, so she was right everything she said. And London falls down, so I don't know what she's talking
Mm.
about. I'm a 28-year military vet, okay, and I
Okay.
and
Yeah.
after watching was it A Day of Rage on YouTube? It made
Yeah.
me mad again because I watched it in 4K when it happened on January 6th. And I just don't
Right.
understand how people can, any military person that wants to vote for somebody that's seen that happen with their own eyes. That is ridiculous to me. Like it broke
Yeah.
my heart because at the same time I
Yeah.
was like, I served so you can say what you want to say and do what you want to do, but you didn't have to do that. There's other ways to be
Right.
able to get your point across. You didn't have to do all of that. And I will not allow that man, for me, my vote will go to Joe Biden no matter what. Because
Amen.
right, because
Amen. Tell them.
I'm not going back. Like I'm not going back. You know, my mother is
Well,
71 years old. She went to a segregated school. People don't realize how far back. It's not that far. It wasn't that long ago. She had to walk
right.
almost 30 miles if she missed the bus just to get to school. So
Wow.
people don't understand what's really happening. And there was no division with Obama just because he said that thing, that could have been my son. He was absolutely right. That could have been my son. You know, they don't make it a division. You're just trying to make you look at it like it could be your son. It could be anybody's son that this happened to, regardless of the color of their
Right.
skin. You know, all Donald just, to me, he is a, he's a race baiter, and he knows what to say to get these people hyped up. He
Yeah.
knows.
Let me ask you a
Mhm.
question, okay? Because my original question is MAGA winning or losing? What are your thoughts
I
on
feel
that?
like they are losing. I feel like a lot of people are not going to say that they're voting for Joe Biden because they will get called a rhino. Every time, you know, Trump, if
Mm,
Trump call him a rhino, they a rhino. If Trump say it's fake, it's fake. If Trump say bird brain, they gonna say bird brain. They repeat. They're parrots. That's
yeah.
all they are parrots. You know, so, and I just don't understand it. And I wanted to ask the guy when he was talking about abortion, like, did you go out to the adopt a kid? Did
Mm,
anybody that's sitting up there saying, "Oh, it's wrong," but have y'all been out there to adopt or foster these kids that don't have a mother or father? Nobody has done that, but yet you want to bring more kids in this world, and then you want to say, "Oh, well, we don't want to feed them. Why don't you go get a job, get off food stamps, do this, do that?" I was in the military, and I had four
oh.
kids. And
Mm,
at the time, I was an E5 and couldn't get, I was $25 over from food stamps. $25.
wow.
That was, and that's sad if I'm in the military and have to try to get some help. So
Right.
I know people are out here struggling. And
And
I just retired 2 years ago and I've never seen my son. I know I'm
congratulations.
happy.
And thank you for your
Thank you. I'm
service,
so
by the
glad it's
way.
over.
Yeah, yeah, and to me, it really feels good when I hear from people who are in the armed services, right? Because I know that Donald Trump doesn't respect, our troops at all, and so it's nice when I hear from folks like yourself that are outspoken and actually showing support for President Biden the way that you do. So thank you for
Yeah.
that as
And
well.
and when it comes back down to it later on in life, when everything is all over, I vote off of what the politician talks about. What are you trying to do for everybody? You know, for the Black BIPOC community. What are you gonna do? So if you was a Republican and you sounded good to me at the time, I'm gonna vote for you. You know what I'm saying? But if you acting crazy like the megas are, I'm gonna just straight vote blue down.
And you said, and so you believe that MAGA is acting crazy
Oh,
out here.
ain't yes. Look at Marjorie Taylor Greene. Her
I can't give you an answer for
she
that. Who
she
else?
is all of Matt Gaetz, Jim Jordan, Comer,
Mm,
all the entire house. We haven't had any bills passed except for censor. I don't want you to say just censoring people. They haven't done nothing for the American people. And if you really, really wanted to get this border done, Biden already has the paperwork ready and drawn up for you. Let's do it. But no, it's a political now. Like somebody said in another live, it's an election interference because Donald Trump said, "I want to run on it on during my presidency." Who said you're getting in, bro? You got 91 counts. You got
mm.
91 counts, and I'm telling you, if I work with top the secret top secret stuff. If I would have took a piece
Yes.
of paper home by mistake, I would be getting in trouble. I would have lost some rank. But this man took all these boxes and said, I can cross put the cross up and it's declassified. Baby, that is not how it works. I don't care if you're the president of Timbuktu. That is not how it works. You have to go through procedures
Mm.
in order to do that. So MAGA is is
Yep.
is losing, and he doesn't know it yet. He knows it. That's why he keep saying the same thing. And if he gets in, I'm telling you, he wants to stay in forever. He wants to be a dictator. He
Mm.
wants to be that king. He already think he's a king because people are out there saying that, praying to him, and I don't understand. Every time they pray
Yeah.
for him, he loses. Like I mean, God is not on your side.
You ain't
He's not
lying.
listening to y'all. So
Yep. No lies
yeah,
detected.
so with these 91, I don't care about the Georgia case. I mean, I do, and I don't care about the Gene Carroll case. And I'm glad he got hit up with that amount of money. Just shut your mouth and you be okay. But that
Mm.
91, that the obstruction of justice, oh, I'm ready for that.
Yeah, you ready for
Because
that?
if you allow him to get away with it, you have opened the door for every military person that have messed up.
Oh,
You have opened the doors to say, well, if a president can do it, why can't I?
right. You know, I didn't think about that, right? But he's definitely trying to go down that path. All right, and once you go down, there's no turning
Yeah,
back.
at all. But that's
All,
all I had to say, and
all,
I truly appreciate
all
you allowing me
right.
coming up.
No problem, no problem. And thank you
All right.
so much. I went ahead and gave
Oh,
you a
thank you.
follow. Thank you so
Okay, bye
much.
bye.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. That is Black Goddess. Wow, that's an amazing conversation. It's always nice when we have our friends and family members out here, get out here and share with us what they are going through. All right, JD, greetings. How are you doing, JD? Going once, going
Hello, you hear me?
twice. JD, yes, JD, greetings.
Good. How you doing?
I'm all right. What brings you into the closet of truth to speak to
I
Zeus?
just,
Is MAGA winning? Is MAGA winning or losing in your
I don't know.
opinion?
You tell me how the polls looking.
It depends on which polls you
I
look
think,
at. But I take it you're a Trump
of
supporter.
course.
Okay. Oh, here we go.
I
All
just, I just,
right.
I'm
Why do
not
you
going to sit here
support
and go
him?
back and forth. I just got one thing to bring up is from the very first guy when I hopped in here, that first Greg guy. He brought up the topic of, about the number one causing deaths between 18 and 45-year-olds, and you said you fact checked them. Do you have a
Yeah.
computer next to you? Yeah.
Let's go. Listen. What I said is number one cause of death in America, and it says heart disease. What do you got?
Can you put the camera on there and type in there number one causing deaths from 18 to 45-year-olds? Every single thing that pops up is fentanyl. There's nothing that says heart disease. You're just saying, he's lying because you have nothing back it up.
Wait. You said 18 to 45. I didn't put that in
18
there.
to 45, that's number one causing death.
Okay.
So
Hold
you're
on,
saying
hold on,
all
hold
your
on.
things are facts. It's not, dude. I have the stuff on here you're saying is false information, dude. You need to check your facts before you speak them.
Hold on. It says okay. Yeah, I just put it in there in
Yeah,
general. But if
in
you're going
general,
to put
yeah.
it in
Typical
specific,
liberal
listen,
just takes what they hear a little bit, and fumbles it around.
Okay, okay. So JD, let's go into this. Do you agree that there's a situation going on in our country where folks are using fentanyl?
Yeah, but how are they getting it? Yeah, I mean, it's
So,
coming across.
well, they're bringing it in. Americans are
It's
bringing
not
it
just
in.
Americans bringing it in. You don't think any of these immigrants that they want to bring over here and try to help out? We have all these homeless veterans that people served our country, and they don't care about them. They leave them on the streets, and then let's care about all these immigrants and not care about our people. That's another
What is the
problem.
solution? What is the solution you're proposing, JD? Because you're coming in hot. You want to get me on what 18 to 45 year
No,
olds that are
I'm
using
just fact
fentanyl?
checking you because obviously you don't know how to work a computer properly or type in
No, no,
properly. So I'm
no,
just
no,
giving you the
no.
correct information.
Well, the information I entered
Yeah.
and what you entered was
No. Okay.
different,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
So it's not really a
It
fact
is
check.
because
It's really not a fact
he
check.
told you it's number one causing
But
death. So okay.
but for the sake of what you're saying, I will say yes. When I put in the age range that you said, it did show up fentanyl. So I'm not going to push back.
But
I'm not going to
that's what
sit
he
out
said.
here
He
and
said
lie and
18
say
to
I didn't.
45, and you just ignored it.
I didn't put 18 to
Well,
45. I
that's what the
just put
first
in the
Greg
leading
was saying.
cause of
It's
death.
18 to 45 is the number one causing death.
Okay. But let's get straight to it. All right. So you're saying there's a problem with the border. Why didn't Trump fix it?
He tried.
What stopped
He
him?
tried, and then what happened? What happened in his last year? A big old pandemic came.
Oh
He was trying to
God.
take care of the pandemic. And you guys sit there and blame the whole pandemic and the way the world country was, and Biden fixed everything. If you look at before the pandemic hit, who had the lowest unemployment rates? Who had this? Who had all that kind of stuff?
Why didn't Trump get reelected, JD?
Because of stuff he did towards the end of his time. You know what I mean?
What is it?
Like January 6th. I know that's the big thing you guys always want to bring up.
Okay.
But
So
instead
what
of trying to
else?
change the
What
subject
else?
like you guys always do, I was trying to say who had the number one lowest unemployment rate and all that kind of stuff before Biden was in office.
Bidden.
Before he was in office.
Biden.
Before he was in office. Tell me.
Listen. You tell me. Why does it matter?
Because he
It does to me. To me, it doesn't matter. You can tell me you have more money in your pocket.
It
You can
does.
tell me
I'm talking
Trump
about money,
had a
but
low unemployment rate. You can tell me all this stuff. But as far as I'm concerned, Donald Trump cozied up to
yeah.
dictators like Putin, right? Kim Jong Un, all right. He cozied up to these people. Donald Trump had no respect for our troops. Donald Trump has been committing crimes since he got
Let's
into
let's stay on
office.
one
What is
topic.
it
Let's stay
that
on
you
one
do? You
topic.
think I do? Do you think I care about the unemployment rate when Trump was in office and the way that he
Well,
mismanaged the pandemic and he assaulted our democracy on January 6th and continues
well,
to do it? Do you really think I care about that?
obviously you don't care anything about Trump. I see that. You know what I mean? But anyways, but you care about how much.
I'm just being
Okay, I know,
honest
but
with
can I
you.
speak for 1 second? Obviously, you care so much about how Biden has the lowest unemployment rate and all this other stuff. But how do you think he got to it? You know what I mean? Trump had, before Biden was in office, if you look up the facts, Biden or Trump had the lowest unemployment rate for Hispanics, African Americans, and everything. So Biden got that handed to him, and he just lowered it a little bit extra. You know what I mean? It's not like Biden did all this amazing work. You're saying everything gets handed down. Well, it got handed to Biden, and Biden just kept it going. So you can't give all the credit to
Okay.
Biden. Trump had the lowest before Biden
Okay.
came in.
All right. So the unemployment rate was 6.9% when Trump left, right? That's what I'm seeing?
It was at the all time lowest
No, when he left.
when he left. Yeah, I didn't look it up, but I know for a fact that he had the lowest unemployment rate.
No, but before he left.
Yeah, if you're saying that's what it is, I mean, I trust.
Yeah. So and that was after the pandemic obviously kicked in. What do you got to say about that?
So what are you trying to say? Because it went up?
Yeah,
Well, well,
right before he
well
left.
what do
Right
you,
before he
what do you,
left,
oh,
give him credit for
okay.
give him credit for
Okay,
that.
so what do you expect? Unemployment's going to go up when there's a big pandemic.
Oh,
Wait, don't cut me off. What do you expect when there's a big pandemic and all these restaurants and businesses are shutting down and all these workers are on unemployment now because they have nowhere to work because there's a big pandemic and everything's shut down? Where can you go work?
actually,
Businesses are
oh my
shut down
God.
completely. You know, they signed to
It
go on.
said 14.7%. I mean, oh my gosh. I mean, there's so many different unemployment rates. So we agree that when Donald Trump left, the unemployment rate was high, right?
Okay, and then the pandemic. Now Biden took over. Now the pandemic is over. Now everything's are going back to how they were. So you can't give
No,
him
no,
all the
no, no,
credit.
no, 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 no. I would do that, but you gotta admit there's a lot of businesses that aren't back.
They shut
A
down.
lot
They
of
shut down. They
businesses.
closed the
No,
doors.
no, yeah. So it isn't like it was before the pandemic, then,
But
right?
it was high. But all the businesses that survived, they're back open and they're making money now, and they're
Oh,
fighting to hire more
oh,
people. You know what I
well,
mean?
I, I don't know that. I know of a lot of businesses that aren't back, and they didn't
Yeah, of
ever,
course. There's a
they
lot, a
didn't
lot
get
of
back to
small
what they
businesses,
would.
mom and pop shops, things like that, that shut down.
All right. Okay. So with that being said, we have to understand that when Biden inherited the economy, he inherited this country. The economy was going down, right? What happened? Do you think? What do you think happened to make it go back up? And if you say, well, the pandemic was over, well, how did it get over? Let's unpack that, JD.
Well, to me, the pandemic, it's always the virus is always going to be around, just like the normal cold or flu. You know what I mean? Everyone's going to catch it.
Yeah, but obviously something happened that allowed us to reopen as a country.
So what is it? Let's see if you know your information.
I'm just asking you. You're the
Well,
genius.
I'm trying to see if you know your information because obviously, you know, what I mean, you have Google right there, and you try Googling your information, and so half the time it's wrong.
Well, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Did you what do you think about Operation Warp Speed?
What is it?
What do you think about Operation Warp Speed?
Oh, what do you want to know about it?
Was that a good thing or a bad thing?
I think it was pretty good.
Did you get the
I
vaccine?
did not know. My job didn't require it
Well, why? But I mean, but why didn't you if you thought it was a good thing?
because yeah, I mean, it's a good thing for like elderly people that are more prone to sicknesses, things like that. But for me, the way I look at it is, I'm young, I'm healthy. I mean, I don't need to put something in my body that's not going to do anything for me. People were getting the vaccine shots and they're still getting COVID. There's no cure for COVID.
Well,
I mean, even when I just went to the doctor last week for my yearly checkup. And they said, "Oh, do you
what
want
I'm
a
trying
COVID
to.
test?" Because I wasn't feeling too good. Do you want a COVID test? I said, "Well, is there a medication I could take if it comes back positive?" Like, no. Well, I'm not testing for it.
Okay, so I'm asking because I do believe that Operation Warp Speed was something that Trump did, but we still needed to get those vaccines in the arms of Americans, right?
That's what they wanted to do, and they did, but it did nothing for the Americans.
Well, I'm asking you because the country eventually reopened.
It reopened
And I'm asking you, what do you think allowed the country to help reopen? I mean, so we got vaccines getting, put into the
because they're
arms of
saying that
millions of
it reopened
Americans.
because they're saying that
That's
the
one
numbers
that's
were going
one side
down.
of this, right? That's one side of this, right? And then you got to start talking about, the investments that Biden has made through legislation, which which you and I both know translates into people getting jobs and things like that, right? Countries reopening. So that's something that President Biden and his Vice President Kamala Harris can say that they actually did that helped change the direction that this country was going in.
Who started the whole vaccine stuff? Who started that?
We already said that was under Trump. I have no problem saying that. But the thing is, you didn't take it. You said it was good, but you didn't
It's good. It's
take
good
it.
for different kind of people. You know what I mean, for elderly things like that, or the people that
Yeah,
have
yeah.
sicknesses, things like that. You know?
What about the infrastructure, the bipartisan infrastructure package? Wouldn't you say that's something Biden did, or do you think Trump did
No,
it? Because
no,
Trump
I
kept
mean,
saying infrastructure.
but I think Biden did it.
Okay, okay. And what about free internet, high speed through the Affordable Connectivity Program that Biden and Kamala Harris have
See,
pushed? Is that Trump or
I don't think about like like free internet service things like that. Just like you're talking.
the chips? The CHIPS Act or the PACT Act, none of that matters to
Well,
you? What
that
about
just
putting the
goes to
cap
like
on prescription drug prices? You don't think any of these things helped
that just goes to
get
like
our
you brought up
country?
before. I was listening to you, so you're talking about student loans. He's trying to get rid of student loans. If he's going to try to get rid of people's student loans, and he's got to make it free for everybody. You know what I mean, college and
Well,
it should all be free if he's going to get
well,
rid of student loans. How is that fair to other people that are
well.
older that didn't go to college, are still making it, and and don't have any student loans?
Do you believe people should have their student loan debts forgiven? Because some
If
people
it's
have
forgiven,
had
then you
that,
got to
and
make
that's
it for
had.
my kids when they grow up. They better have free college and all that stuff then.
Well, why did the Republicans get in the way of allowing Biden to do that? They're the
Because he
ones that are
wasn't making
slowing
it
this
free. He was just
down.
trying to help the people that went to college now and just get rid of their student debt. And it's just going to put us more in debt because who's going to be paying that off? Where's he
Oh
getting the money to pay
God!
off those
Oh
student
God!
loans?
Let me. Okay. Well, I'm pretty sure
Just like
you're familiar
welfare
with.
and link cards, all the benefits. They
So
should all be drug tested before they're accepted for the
do you?
benefits.
So wait a second. You have a problem with people getting money from the government?
I don't have a problem with it, but my problem about that is they should be drug tested, things like that. For instance, I live my next door neighbor. He gets help from the government, things like that. Straight, I mean he's a drug addict. I'm not gonna lie, he's a drug addict. But you have money to buy drugs. Why should I take money out of my taxes to pay for your damn food on your table?
I mean, I don't condone anyone being addicted to any kind of substance, but if folks need help.
So I could say screw my job. Let me get government from the help, and I can still do
But but
my habits.
but do, do you have a problem with Donald Trump taking money from other countries and our government? Do you have a problem with that? I mean, I get it. And by the way, if you want to
I'm
talk
talking about
about being on
money
drugs,
out of
I
my
guess
check, my
I guess
taxes. I'm not talking about what.
yeah. He's taking money. He's defrauding the federal government every chance he gets.
It's not hurting my pocket.
Well, then I could say the same thing about your neighbor. Why is it okay when Trump does
It
it and your
it
neighbor does it?
is
You're just super
because
judgmental,
where does the food
right? I
stamps
mean,
come from? How do they get all that money? It's come from our taxes that we pay.
that's subjective, and I say that because I don't think you can actually tie your dollars directly to the support that your neighbor is getting. I don't think you can. All right, and that's more of a local issue, not necessarily a federal issue. That has a lot to do with the politics in the state you're in. You know that, right?
Yeah, of course, and of course, I mean, I'm in
Okay,
Illinois,
okay,
so
okay. And so then my question is like, well, have you reached out to your local city officials, your local state officials about that?
it's every state. It's almost every state that does it. I mean, there's no drug testing. There's no testing for all these people that get all this state help, and they work the system. I'm telling you, you know how you can't even like you know out there. Everyone tries to work the system.
No, no, no. I know Donald Trump likes to, do that, but it seems like you don't mind supporting Trump if he tries to work the system. It's okay when he does it, but your neighbor, it's not. It's a problem. What nationality is your neighbor?
My neighbor is white, just like me.
Okay, I'm just curious. All right, interesting. Well, so I guess with that being said, I take
Even
it
my
you
cousin,
still.
I'll give you another. My cousin, my younger cousin. I'm 33. My cousin's what, 28 or 29. He refuses to get married because if he gets married, all their benefits are going to get cut off. All that stuff, government help, the kids that she had before he was married to her, they won't have state insurance anymore. Things like that because they're married. He makes so
So
much money, and he refused to get married
he
because they want to keep the food stamps and all the government help, and that's wrong, completely wrong to do.
so he's taking advantage of loopholes. That doesn't make him dumb. That makes him smart,
How does that make
right?
him start? You're screwing everybody else over. You know what I mean?
Wait a second.
So
This got. You don't think that makes him smart?
that makes him okay. You could say it's smart, but okay, how he's screwing us over? How all the food on his table
It's
of our
legal,
taxes. They should look into that
but
stuff.
it's
They should look
legal.
into that stuff. How much
It's
money's coming in the household? And they don't. That's the problem. The whole system is corrupt.
So why do you support Trump then? Because everything you're accusing your cousin and your neighbor of doing, this guy does it.
I respect the Republican Party. I mean, I just don't respect. I'm not saying Trump is the best candidate for the Republicans. If there's a different candidate, I would vote for a different candidate in the Republican Party. But I'm going to vote for Trump over Biden. You know, I mean, because he's Republican and he's better fit than Biden.
But look at all the things that he's doing that you have just said are unfair, right? He shouldn't be allowed to do it. Trump does it daily. And you can
And
put that you
Biden does
can
it too.
because
Biden, every politician does it. They're corrupt.
I mean, I guess to me, this is what I'm running into out here, right? It's hard for me to process how all of you, especially you Trump supporters, you can openly acknowledge that Donald Trump is doing wrong and say, well, it's okay for him to do it because guess what? There's corruption on both
There
sides.
is just like what Biden does wrong. I mean, it is what it is. You know,
But
it's corruption.
but people are saying President Biden has done wrong, but they've never produced any evidence of it. We got evidence that Donald Trump is wrong, right? I mean, 91 felony
Well,
charges. Let's just start there. How many of those do you think are going to stick?
they're not even. He's not convicted, is he?
Well, how many do you think are going to
Well,
stick?
we
He hasn't
can't
had
think because
trial
it's not a
yet.
fact. I mean, they're saying that he's charged with these charges. You know how many people they arrest and say this is the person that unalived this person, and they arrest him, they bring him to jail, and then a month later, like, oh crap, we got the wrong person. There's no proof until he's found guilty.
But you
So I'm not
understand the
gonna I'm
problem I'm
not gonna
having
speak on
with
his
this
behalf. He's not found
conversation.
guilty yet.
But he has court
That's
cases.
okay, but that doesn't mean anything because hasn't been found guilty. You guys are just trying to get
Well,
this on him.
okay, but does Biden have any court cases?
No, not court cases, but that don't mean anything because Trump is not guilty.
But so can we just not bring Biden into your little theory that you got? That's all I'm asking, right? Because if Biden doesn't even he hasn't even gotten to the level that Trump is at, so we can't bring him into this. This is simply a person objectively take Trump's name out of it, and you seem like a very intelligent person. If you took Trump's name out of it and you knew someone that had 91 felony charges, what would you say to them?
There's not
Be
there's not
honest.
much you can say to him until you find him guilty. You know what I mean? It's just
Would you hang out with somebody that gets in your car and you're like, you got 91 felony charges. It's all right. Get in the car with me. Would you feel comfortable
no,
doing
no.
that?
But Trump. It's different with Trump. It's getting close to election year, and now they got all this stuff on him. And they're trying. I mean, they don't want him to get reelected. That's what they're doing. They're trying to get him with all this stuff and all this other information and blah blah blah, and trying to get it so he cannot run again, become president. That's what they're trying to do.
Who, when you say they, who are they?
All the Democrats. You know what I mean, Democratic parties. You know what I mean, they're scared of Trump. Just like you guys
Mm.
are scared of Trump. Every,
Is Mike Pence a
every
Democrat?
Democrat that comes down here, oh, if Trump comes in office, we're screwed. We're in for it. Oh, they're all scared.
But Mike Pence isn't a Democrat. Bill Barr isn't a Democrat.
But has he been charged yet with any of
His
those
int-
charges? No.
who?
Trump has not been charged with any of them. So we can't sit here and keep talking about it because he's not convicted.
He has been charged.
But he's not convicted.
I get that, but he hasn't had trial yet. You're being
And
premature, sir. I'm
but
gonna
I'm
be
just
honest
saying though,
with
he's
you.
not going to be convicted.
But here's the thing, JD. Here's the thing. All right, and I really do hope you actually think about this. I know you're not, but I'm going to say it anyway. At a certain point, you really have to embrace the truth about what's happening to Donald Trump, right? I know you're not going to believe a thing I say or anybody that comes up after me, but at a certain point, it really does need to be something you process. Like, you know what? 91 felony charges. There's not a person on this planet that could actually have that many charges and walk away scot free.
So what about Biden and Hunter, for money laundering? That's okay.
Do you got any proof of that?
That's the same thing, just like you're saying about Trump. Do you have any proof? He
We,
hasn't
we,
been convicted.
a report came out earlier this month that showed Donald Trump was the one that was pocketing money from China. Now, what do you say about that? You can go look it up.
I'm saying you're sitting here trying to get on Trump, and you're sitting here keep on bringing it up about these 91 charges. He hasn't been charged with any
We're
91 charges.
talking
He's not
about we're
convicted,
talking
so.
about influence peddling now. We're talking about how Trump was making money while president of the United States through his businesses to the tune of $8 million from around what 20 countries or so.
And those are his businesses. If you have a business, aren't you going to run your business also?
Not if it's a violation. If not, if it's a violation of the emolument clauses. No. I thought he divested like he did on TV. He got on TV and said he wasn't going to be running his businesses, but now we're looking at it. And Jared Kushner, $2 billion. You don't say a single thing about it, but you're swearing up and down President Biden is somehow involved in some sort of crimes, but there's no impeachment of it. There's no docket number behind it, and Hunter Biden is not a government official.
And I could say the same thing about Trump. I mean, where's the evidence?
All right, JD, listen, I'm going to move it on, all right? Because I'm really hoping to have honest conversations,
Well, just
all
for
right?
just for the futures, make sure you look up your facts before you spit them out. You know what I mean? Because otherwise, your life's gonna get banana because you're giving out false information. I
Fair
want
enough,
to see
all
these other
right?
people up here and speak before you get bananaed.
Fair enough, JD, all right? Fair enough, all right? Keep on doing what you're doing, and I'll keep doing what I'm doing, all right? Ladies and gentlemen, that is JD. These folks, ladies and gentlemen, they don't make any sense when they get up here and start talking. They don't. All right, you know exactly what it is. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go. Miss Morningstar, good morning. How are you doing? Oh, Miss Morningstar, you're back. Are you
Back.
there?
What's up, Zeus? I'm so sorry, man. I got a call, so I had to click over and didn't even get a chance to come back, but I'm back now.
Right. Okay.
Oh,
What's going on?
Zeus. It was
Hey,
exhausting
Superwoman, I see.
listening to JD. Lord have mercy.
Oh, well, I'm in the closet of truth,
Yeah.
filtering the MAGA demons. All right, trust me.
Yeah. Poor JD. He has, I don't know. They just have like a mental block. Um, the thing is, the whole thing with when it comes to Trump trying to compare this situation to Biden, Trump has been found liable for certain things. Trump has been arrested because evidence was presented to a jury of his peers to
Okay.
say that he actually committed these crimes. Now, yes, we still have to go in front of a he still has to go in front of a jury. Still has to go through a trial. However, he's been arrested and they still want to ignore the fact that this man is running to be their president. It's insane. It's insane. It is, and I hear you explaining to them, Zeus, the best way you can in such a mild tone, and I commend you for that because MAGA is losing so bad. It's actually really sad to see them go down like this, but they're going down, no
So,
doubt.
so, so you believe that MAGA is losing?
MAGA is definitely losing. MAGA's losing more and more every day. More and more
Yeah.
every day. It's really sickening and it's just disgusting. It's disgusting. Um, I don't think nothing can save them at this point. They're just gonna go down like the Titanic. They're gonna, play. They gonna play the violins and go down with the ship as he goes down.
Yeah. Yeah,
You
yeah,
know?
yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, I agree. You can't tell them anything, which is kind of what makes this even more alarming.
Yeah.
They don't care. They don't care about facts at
Yeah.
all. Listen, I've been
Facts.
doing this a while. They don't care about facts.
Mm-mm.
All right, and
Mm-mm.
they and then when they bring information to you, they think they're doing something. I'm like, okay, whatever. It doesn't change a
Nothing
thing.
changes. We know that our economy is doing so much better. We know that we are thriving with Biden. Biden has definitely put us out of a potential economic failure, and we are definitely doing better as a people. There's nothing that I can complain about when it comes to President Biden at this moment. He's besides him being an older man, he gets around way more than I do.
Amen.
And
Right.
I would just say it's a blessing to be able to live to his age and still have his wits, his wisdom, his courage to stand on that stage and support an entire nation. You
Amen.
know, these people really need to. They need help. It's more
They,
psychological than anything at this point. Um,
you're right. You're right. What's so funny to me is they swear they know everything, but they're losing.
every day, Zeus.
It's the mo-
Every day.
they're so brilliant, but they're losing and don't even
I
realize it.
know.
It's the funniest thing I've ever seen, ladies and gentlemen. It really
Just
is.
like earlier, I heard you talk about the wonderful thing. Well, I actually heard Boss Diva talk about the wonderful thing that Biden and Kamala Harris are proposing, that $1 million for homeless or $1 billion for
Yeah.
homeless people.
Right.
They're trying to put these legislations in place so that they can help people,
Mm.
all people, not just a little portion of people, all people. While we
Right.
hear this fool, this idiot, this orange demon practicing and practically every day getting on his true social, his fake Twitter, just preaching and nothing but hate
Bingo.
on a regular basis.
Yeah.
He's responsible for everybody's 401k going up. Now he's responsible for this and that and another. It's ridiculous. And then when KD says, "Well, when he came into office, he had a great economy." Don't he know that was President Obama's economy? He rode on President Obama's economy for 2 years.
Bingo.
And everything he
Bingo.
does, he tells you he does. He got on there and he lied about the pandemic in the beginning because he didn't want to scare the world. I mean, these are things that we can hear with our own and see with our
They
own
well,
eyes.
they'll say you're not telling the
Yeah,
truth, and you know what they do.
yeah. So,
What a
it
shame.
is what it is, Zeus. We it's gonna get worse and worse as the time moves, as we get closer to winning, they're gonna just
Yeah.
it's gonna get worse, but we're prepared. We prepared for it.
Yeah.
And yeah, MAGA is definitely losing.
Fair enough.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go ahead and let the next guest come up. I just wanted to say my
All
two
right.
cents.
Thank you so much, Miss Morningstar. I
Absolutely,
appreciate you
Zeus.
coming into the closet of truth. All right. You see
Absolutely.
that?
Yep.
You see that? It's not just me saying MAGA is losing. It's a lot of people. A lot of my friends are saying
It's the
MAGA is
truth.
losing, and that's just what it is.
It's the truth.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right.
Well, thank you so much.
All right, Zeus. I
All
see you.
righty. All right, all right. I will see you. All right. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the special episode of The Closet of Truth, where I'm interviewing MAGA to ask them how they really think and feel. And as you can tell, they're still in a state of denial. All right. You see clickbait, I see you out there. You're not winning, you're losing. Snuggles, you're not winning, you're losing. You Russian bears, you're not winning, you're losing. All right. All right. MAGA zero dims one. Let's bring up our next panelist. Oh my goodness. All right, Yazzie Jazzy. How are you doing, Yazzie?
Hey guys! Hi!
Hey, how's it
Oh,
going?
it's crazy out here on these TikTok streets. I think
Talk to him.
MAGA is losing. I just want to say the other guy, yeah, that you didn't Google 18 to 45. About 110 people have been unalive due to fentanyl, but heart disease unalive 698,000 people a year. Way worse than fentanyl, people, okay? Not even the same thing. 110 as opposed to 600 and some, almost 700,000 people. So that, okay,
Yeah.
so that you used the wrong, now who cares about the statistics? There's more people being unalive from heart disease. Next is cancers, okay? Fentanyl, I think, is like the sixth. Okay, sixth. Come on, people. You can choose. He can cherry pick that. He can whatever. The thing is that
Right.
President Biden is winning. Is winning. We are. I mean, look at all the good legislation. Do you see how not one of them could come back with you on any good piece of legislation that they have done? Nothing. No one can even like.
Nope.
And then when he's like, "Oh, my neighbor's doing this and taking tax money," so that Trump said, "Hey, I only paid $700 in taxes because I know how to cheat the IRS code." Oh, rich people, that's okay. Let the wealthy get away with, and including farmers, Y'all let them have subsidies for not farming their ground, but the rest of us get taxed, which is fine. I can afford the taxes, but
Tell him,
you
Yazzie.
pay them money to not farm their land, and you're telling me that ain't welfare? Oh, okay, that's good welfare because it's for farmers. Yeah, that's welfare people too. Oh, you don't want to feed the sick, the hungry, the homeless, the disabled. But pro-life, make a woman have a baby. We're gonna make her have the baby, but we're not gonna feed that baby. We don't want it to have Medicaid. We don't want it to have any services. But yes, continue to have those babies, just so we can let them not have anything. This is actually, we were moving our combines closer. I was following my dad and my uncle because John Deere's gonna come
Yes.
pick them up for maintenance. But that's how they look when they're all closed up. Isn't that a neat picture? My dad was
That's a
following.
picture.
Yeah,
Wow.
I took that
Wow.
picture. I was following them because we got to get them closer. So John Deere will send semis out and pick them up to take them to service them for the
Wow.
next year. Yeah, it's kind of
Wow.
cool. Yeah, it is neat. But I just want to say,
That is
you.
neat.
Thank you. I just want to say, you guys, GDP is so much higher because we're winning. The stock market is astronomical gains. Unemployment is
They
at the
don't know
lowest
that,
rate.
Yazzie.
When you say when Trump left 6.9% unemployment rate, hear that, dude? 6.9. Biden right now is
Yeah.
what? I forget, 3.7, 3.5, whatever we said. Really?
Three
Yeah,
point. Actually, it shot up to 14.7 at one point. So you just yes.
yeah, but but he's like, he trusted you to Google certain things, but he wouldn't Google anything else. I'm like, come
They
on,
don't
you
care.
man. They don't care. But I think, like you said, and like Morningstar, and everyone says they're just becoming more unhinged because they're losing and they're nuts. I'm sorry.
So you
And
believe so you believe MAGA is losing, Yazzie. Is that what you're saying?
totally.
You believe MAGA is using?
Yeah, it's so losing. It's so losing.
Wow.
I've been on the Hispanic lives and stuff like that, and I just want to tell you, some of them that tell me they're Republican, I'm like, why? They don't like you. Have you seen the color of your skin and the way the moment you open your mouth, you're their token. But the moment, guess what? They're gonna make sure it doesn't matter if you're a naturalized citizen. They're gonna stop you and send you back. Guess what? You don't want naturalized citizens, okay? Hey, I'm born here. You can't send me back. I own my
Tell
land.
them.
But I just want to tell you, they don't
Tell them,
care about
Yazzie.
brown, black people, marginalized groups, okay? So yeah, y'all better vote like it's your life because they want to
Uh
take all
oh.
these rights away. So that's
All
it.
right.
You're so handsome,
Tell them,
dude. I just
Yazzie.
want to tell you how handsome you look today. You're just looking so
Thank
good.
you, Yazzie.
Look at you.
Thank you, Yazzie. I
Isn't just the
appreciate
most
it.
honest, humble, and hardworking and handsome man? Oh my God, you have and the patience
You're
of a
making me
saint,
blush, Yazzie.
and the patience of a saint with MAGA. I was like, holy smolies. I don't know how you,
Yeah.
I mean, it's fine. I mean, I just get excited too. In the end, I'm good too. But it's good to see you. Thanks for letting me up. I hope everyone is
All right.
well. You guys take care of
All
yourselves.
right.
Stay
All right,
safe.
Yazzie.
These TikTok
Thank
streets.
you.
Mwah,
All
mwah,
right,
mwah,
ladies
mwah,
and
mwah, mwah.
gentlemen. Oh, thank you. Oh my gosh, I'm blushing. But thank you
Oh,
so
thank you.
so much, Yazzie. Stay safe out there. All right.
Oh, I got to. I'm on my fourth
Uh,
account. Oh my God, they keep
oh,
bananing me.
this is your fourth account.
Yeah.
Wow, really? Oh my gosh, be safe out there.
I know, but you follow. I mean, the other two, I didn't know better. I didn't know how the
Uh
TikTok
oh.
streets worked, and I didn't know if I said comments I would lose it. So, but my
Yeah.
third one I figured out. Now my fourth one I
Done.
got it figured out now. So, well, thank you
Fair enough.
guys.
All right.
Take care, everybody. Love
All
you
right.
guys. Stay safe. Bye,
All
Judy. Bye,
right.
handsome.
All right. Thank you so, so much. Oh my gosh. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Yazzie Jazzy right there for you. All right. Coming in, keeping it clean in the kingdom. All right. You know what we do? We tell the truth and shame the devil. You see, MAGA, It's crystal clear to a lot of people, and I'm just having regular conversations, right? I haven't been dark Zeus, right? I've just been hearing MAGA out and trying to get a feel for where they're at right now. And so far, it's still a lot of crying, right? It's a lot of crying. They're still in denial that that they're not winning, they're losing, right? It's an emotional attachment that they got to Donald Trump that they refuse to let go. They don't want to dwell in reality. I'm looking, ladies and gentlemen, I really am. I'm really trying to find a Trump supporter that's in reality, all right? And not just up here crying and, talking about things that really don't matter, all right? Spirit, how are you
All
doing?
right, and yourself?
I'm all right. Welcome to the Closet of Truth. How are you doing? So you're doing all right. What brings you up? What do you want to talk about?
Well, I'm voting for Trump.
Oh God,
Okay,
really?
yes, and I wanted to bring up that I have been posting in the comments links showing receipts. You know that Biden does have cases against him right now and cases against the family.
Which cases? President Biden or Hunter Biden?
Both.
Okay, and so what about the case with President Biden? Which one is it?
There's a few of them. It's mostly for the money. International.
Mm-hmm.
China, Ukraine. You can start googling it. It's in the house. I put the links in your chat.
But when do you believe Biden has presidential immunity?
Mm, no, because he wasn't president when he was doing this.
But he's president now.
It doesn't matter. Presidential immunity
That
is
means
only for during presidential, while you're
mm,
serving.
okay. And so what do you know about these cases then? All right. And you're saying you think it's acceptable or unacceptable for him to have taken money from China?
It's unacceptable for him to take money from any country, do any dealings, especially since because
Why?
he said he never did. He had no knowledge of it, and now they have proof of bank accounts.
But why are you I
He
guess
lied. He was
spirit
vice president. You're not supposed to accept any type of gifts when you're in
you
Congress or vice president. You can't. It's against the law.
no, you that's not I don't
You
believe
look
you
it
just
up.
said
It's
that.
against the law. Just like any gifts you're given as president, it has to stay with the White House. You can't take it home once you leave.
Wait a second. Now, spirit, now you came up
I'm
here
telling you the
and
truth.
are you talking about
I'm
President
talking about
Biden or are you
anybody. You're
talking
saying that he could bring stuff home or have gifts. No, you can't.
but what about Trump doing that?
Trump, what did he bring home? Nothing.
Let's talk about classified
Okay, and
documents.
he had every right to legally.
He, that just goes against what you just said.
No, he
He
wasn't
shouldn't have been
given.
able to take it
He wasn't
home.
given that as gifts. Anything that was given as gifts stayed with the White House.
So the money he got from China, did that stay at the
He
White
didn't get no
House?
money from China. That's been proven.
All
His
right.
son was his
All
son
right.
was running that, and he
Okay,
made
so
that
there's a
very clear
report.
once he got in office what he was doing with his businesses,
So
and it was
what was he
true.
doing?
He was having his family
Oh,
take over. Ivanka took over
so
some, and his two sons took over
wait a
others.
second. So wasn't Ivanka working in his administration?
Yes, for not the whole time, but yes.
No. So in other words, she broke the law according to what you're saying.
No, because what she was working with didn't have to do with his corporations. It was hers.
Mm. But you see what you're doing there, right? You see how everything that we see Trump has done, you're giving him a way
No,
out. Why don't you do that for President?
I'm just saying he
Why
knew
don't you
the
do it for
laws.
President Biden?
He knew Trump
Huh?
knew the laws and went around them just like Pelosi did. I mean,
Okay,
everybody
okay,
knows
okay.
if
So
you want
let's
to
let's
be
let's, let's
money, just follow her stocks,
Jesus.
what she buys.
But okay. So if Trump knew the law, why is he asking for presidential immunity?
I don't know. Why don't you look for it?
You're the one that came up here with
And
this.
I'm
All
telling
right.
you,
You don't need presidential immunity if you didn't do anything
And he
wrong.
didn't. He has been proven not innocent and acquitted, even of impeachment charges in criminal court. Look it up. The only thing
He's
he's been
been
found,
impeached
no,
twice.
he's been
He's been
acquitted
impeached
and
twice.
acquitted. He beat it.
Okay, okay. He was acquitted in the Senate, but he was impeached twice. All right. So that's in the
But
history
being
books. Now
acquitted, that means he was found not guilty. Do you understand
that
that?
means he was no. That means he wasn't convicted in the
He
Senate.
wasn't convicted because he was not guilty. They couldn't find the evidence to support their
No.
case.
That just okay.
Look in
Okay.
the
So we're gonna
.gov,
just
WhiteHouse.gov
we're
files.
we're we're just gonna agree to disagree, ma'am. All right. Now let's get back to this China
Hmm.
business. There's a report that came out top of this year, and it said Donald Trump received over $5 million from China, and the rest of it came from other countries. And he did this while he was president. You're aware of this, right? You're aware of how he was charging the Secret Service to stay at his hotels, and he was charging them at an inflated price to do that. He was making money off the taxpayers. Are you aware
No,
of
it
this?
was his hotels. Get it right.
Yeah, but he wasn't supposed to be.
It was
He
his
well,
hotels, his
thank you,
businesses. Get it
thank you
right.
for good. Thank it's him.
No, it wasn't
It's
him.
him.
It doesn't.
It's
He
his
wasn't taking
businesses.
care of it
It's
at the time.
well, why are they on his tax returns?
Because of corporations.
Now listen up, Spirit. I'm gonna need you to act like you got some common sense when you're talking up here, okay? So you said presidents are they shouldn't take anything from them from the office from the White House when they leave. Donald Trump took those classified documents. He never returned them, even though they said
I
give
said
them
gifts.
back. Why didn't he do
I
it?
said gifts. Okay,
Okay,
classified documents. Let's go over that
yeah,
one.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So should he have returned those?
He
I mean, you're wrong
he
on you're
offered
wrong
to.
on him not getting any.
He offered to. He offered.
Okay. So then why is he being
He
indicted
was
on it?
beat on that indictment. That's
Huh?
the indictment
He was
he beat already. He was
he beat the
yeah, he was
indictment, so the
acquitted.
case is not long.
And now they're going after Biden over it. The same thing, because Biden did it as vice president. Every president has classified documents. Obama does even.
Ma'am, he was acquitted.
Yes, go look it up. It's not hard to Google.
Wow. Show us what did you what do I need to
Go
Google? I'm right here.
whitehouse.gov and look up Trump indictments and look at the cases.
Okay.
And read all the case
I'm
files.
I'm looking at it, right? He still has the 91 charges.
He had more.
They didn't go anywhere. Ma'am, he had more than 91?
Yeah, he had 103 at one point. They've also, some charges have been dropped completely, specifically with Georgia.
Okay. Okay. So the Georgia case has been dropped.
Specifically. And wait, Jack Smith, I believe they're in process of 4 more being dropped, but more will be dropped because they're looking at getting on him now. Do you see the court cases on Jack Smith right now?
What part
in
of
Fannie Mills.
What part of the country, ma'am? What part of the country are you calling in from?
Oh, I'm Chicago, so I know exactly what's going on. And guess what? Chicago people want Trump. Google right now, Chicago blacks for Trump.
Do you know Snuggles? Because he's from Chicago, so I'm
No, I don't
assuming
know
you and him
Snuggles.
must
No.
be- okay, well, you would fit really well in his community on this app. He's a Trump supporter like you, and he's just as deranged. Very passionate. All right,
I'm giving you facts and how to find it, and you're not looking. That's not my fault.
No, ma'am.
Who's deranged?
Ma'am.
You're not giving me anything. I'm bringing you receipts, hon. You got to give me something back. You can't just say at the mouth. Anybody can spew anything.
Okay. All right. So can you go online and look up the report that came out at the top of this year where it showed Trump got money from foreign countries and China was the one that paid him the most? That's out there, please. All right? Also, ma'am, I bet you, and I don't even like to bet, I bet you that Donald Trump's 91 felony charges that he's being charged with, not one of them has dropped. He hasn't been acquitted of anything. I bet you this.
There was 103. Yes, he's been losing them.
Where?
Look, whitehouse.gov. Look at the records. You can Google it. They even say it.
I just
look. Then you'll see how many cases have been dropped and what he's been acquitted of.
ma'am, there's a chance. There's just to me. Let's just be honest. There's a probability here that you might be wrong. Are you willing to explore that with me?
Sure.
You just
Bring
might be
receipts,
wrong.
though. I'm not going to go off your
I'm
word.
telling
I need
you.
to see black and white. That's all I go off of.
No, I don't even think you go off black and
No,
white. To
I
be
do.
honest
That's
with
the
you,
only
I mean,
thing. Okay, so you don't
let,
believe in
what about?
Chicago.
Let me talk
I
about.
bet you don't believe that
So
Chicago is voting Republican, that we want to
I
vote
want
to
to.
not be sanctuary city anymore. You don't believe
I
that, do
want to
you,
talk about.
huh?
I
You
want
can
to talk
Google
about
that
E. Jean
too.
Carroll. Can you talk about E. Jean Carroll real quick? I want to
Okay,
move on
sure.
there,
Let's talk
right?
about E. Jean Carroll. That's a great
So
one.
so what are your thoughts about that?
Well, they tried him criminally for it. They couldn't get a conviction, so they went civilly because that's the only thing they could do is go after his money. And well, she couldn't recall nothing. She didn't have dates, years, not even a year. I'm a victim of SA, so I can tell you from experience, you remember. You recall everything. And you definitely don't go on an interview with Anderson Cooper and call rape sexy, a
No,
fantasy.
say grape, say grape, say grape. Now we got to keep it clean
Well,
and above
okay,
board
well,
over
I'm
here, all
saying
right?
it was they only went after his money because that's all they could do. They can't everything they try to get him convicted on criminally, he beats.
So
So that
so
is
let's
worth.
just
That's a
let,
big
can
thing.
I can I ask you something?
Hmm.
And I don't want to get you too worked up, right? So are you suggesting that the judge and the jury in this case, all of them are wrong?
Well, the judge, first of all, told the jury that they could not take into account anything that Trump said when he did speak. And the judge also did not allow two experts to be called in to try to prove if
So
it
that's a
did or
yes.
not. Okay?
So that's a yes.
Yes.
So you believe the judge and the jury are all wrong.
And
They
you
got this
believe
one
they
wrong.
found 12 jurors that never heard of Trump, right? Come on, let's be
There were
honest.
there were seven. There were, well, at least with the penalty phase of this, right? There were 7 men, 2 women, and they all
Never heard of Trump.
basically came. No, no, no. I didn't say that. They all basically supported the evidence.
There was no evidence. That's what I'm telling you.
He was found to
The
have
dress
been
didn't even, they
liable
didn't
for
even,
SA.
listen, they couldn't even find evidence on the DNA
But
of the dress.
ma'am,
No, that's a big
ma'am,
thing.
you can't,
She brought a dress
ma'am, you,
and there was no DNA on
ma'am,
it.
ma'am, ma'am. Do you believe you could speak for all victims? Honestly.
I know for a fact when you're a victim, you don't pull shit like that.
Well,
You
keep it
pull, you
clean that we
pull a
don't use
whole, I guarantee
profanity.
you could pull 10 SA victims after me and not one of them will say otherwise what I am.
They won't say what?
Otherwise from what I'm saying. You remember that
I
stuff whether you want to or not.
okay. So I also believe that in order for you to get the judgment that E. Jean Carroll got, that you have to go through the criminal system, right? And there has to be facts. There has to be facts. There has to be
And what
evidence,
happened when they went
right?
criminally? What happened? Because they
I
did.
don't know about that whole. I'm not talking about the whole criminal thing. We're talking about the civil
Any
case. That's
civil
when I
doesn't have
asked
to
you
prove
what.
nothing. That's he said, she said. You could Google it, look it up. You don't have to have no
I,
evidence.
ma'am, I don't know about this claim that there was a criminal. You said that he has 103 charges, and now I don't know about all these other cases that you're saying were there and then they're not there. I want you to just, if you can, let's just stick to the E. Jean Carroll
Okay,
situation.
E. Jean Carroll,
All
she
right,
tried him criminally
right?
first. It was proven he didn't do it. So then they went civil. That's what happened.
Okay, that's what you
No,
believe.
that's the
But let's.
truth. You can look it up. It's government. I mean, this is
What if
black
you're
and
wrong?
white.
What if you're wrong? Look, there's
I
people in
know
the
I'm not
audience that are
wrong.
saying there's people in the audience, ma'am, that are saying you're wrong.
Okay, pull up. I
Now,
pulled up.
now,
I gave
how
you a
can
link proving
how? Wait,
otherwise.
wait, 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 wait. We run an honest operation over
So
here,
do
right? If
I.
I'm wrong, if I'm wrong, I'll be the first to apologize. That's why they call me Triple H, right? I have no problem admitting I'm wrong. Why do you have such a
I
problem?
don't have a problem. That's why I told you everything has to be black and white. I even told you,
No.
you give me something black and white and I'll look at it, but I'm not going to believe your word. And you
Okay.
haven't given me nothing. I've given you
I
stuff.
have people that will come up here and show that to you. But before they do, I just want to make sure you get an opportunity to clear this up before we get to that point.
I'm standing my
Okay,
ground.
because
I know
you're
what was done. I watched it all because I
okay.
was.
So the judge, they came back last week and they said that Trump, he did defame E. Jean Carroll, and the penalty is now $83 million, and this is added on to the $5 million from the first trial. You followed that.
The first trial, he was
That's
found not guilty.
that. No, the civil trial where he ended up having to pay $5 million. You followed that one.
Yes, and then
That was
they
the
went
first.
for the
Okay,
83, which
okay.
is civil as well.
No, they both were
Yes, that's
civil,
what I'm trying
right?
to tell
So
you.
no, okay. So what part of that process, that in just that process, what part of it was wrong?
Well, for what?
Was the judge wrong?
Yeah.
The judge was wrong in there. The jury was wrong. All of them. You're saying the evidence that they used to actually come to that conclusion was all wrong. Do you understand how that sounds?
No, because there was no evidence able to be put through on Trump's side. It was the judge did not permit it. His
All
lawyer
right,
tried to have
attacking. Are
two
you there?
experts brought up, and the judge
All right.
denied
Hold
it.
on, hold on, hold on. We're gonna bring up attacking. I know he has it. All right. Let's get this E. Jean Carroll nonsense out
All
of the
right, let
way.
me put my
All right.
Bluetooth in.
Hold on. Let me do my little. I haven't done the little
You got
split
me?
screen
You
thing in
got
a
me?
while.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Ma'am, I need you to be quiet for a few seconds. First off, there was no criminal case going on with the SA and Avicii Carroll. That never happened. The only
Yes,
case,
it did.
excuse me, ma'am, please be
Can,
quiet. The only two cases that happened was the first case where there was 9 jurors, 6 men, 2 Trump supporters, and 3 women. That 100% unanimously said that they found Donald Trump did assault E. Jean Carroll, and I'm going to post the picture of their format or of their form. Okay?
now, before you do
Yeah.
attacking, I want to give her. I want to give her one last chance
Okay.
to
All
stop it,
right.
ma'am.
Hmm.
Ma'am, before he posts this, do you want to take back anything that you've been saying?
No, in fact, I'm powering on my other computer right now because I'm going
Okay.
to give you links.
So for right now, this right here, number 2, says that they said that E. Jean Carroll produced enough evidence to show that he did SA her. Now, it was a unanimous decision within the court case, just so you know. 9 jurors, 6 men, 3 women, 2 Trump supporters. This was a civil case for SA. There was never a criminal case brought forth. Now, the second case. Now, in this one here, Donald Trump did.
Wait, can wait. Hold on, attacking. Now, I want to before you go further.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Spirit. Do you have any? Do you have any problem with the black and white evidence in front of you right now? Do you have any problem with this?
No, but it doesn't say he essayed her either.
Yes, it does.
It
It's
clearly
right there.
says
Number
no.
2. It's
Number
no.
one.
Hold on. Number 1 is great. Number
Look,
2
okay,
is
okay,
sex.
look, what
Hold
is the
on, young lady.
definition of it?
Excuse me, young lady. Grape is number 1. SA, sexual assault, is number 2. They found that she, with the evidence that was brought forth, with the witnesses, her friend that she called, and the other people who testified, and Donald Trump's own words from his deposition, showed that he did SA her. Now, the second case for the $83.3 million, that was for defamation. That was for calling her a liar, calling her names, and so on and so forth. Because after this case was won, he went on TV on CNN and called her names again and continued. The second case had nothing to do with the outcome of this case. He could not present evidence because this has already been finalized. The second case was on defamation, calling her names, calling her a liar, degrading her. That's the defamation. That Donald Trump was allowed to talk. He spent 3 minutes answering 3 questions. He could not bring other information in regards to the sexual assault because that wasn't allowed because that was already done and over with. He could not present. He had to present information that he did not defame her,
Okay.
did not.
Okay. Okay. So I think you've overloaded her attacking,
No,
and so
I'm just letting him
let's.
talk because he's
Okay.
putting
Okay.
words in
Okay.
it that's not even there. He said
No.
sexual assault. That says sexually abused. Now read the definition of sexually abused. It is not sexual assault. Look it up.
Ma'am, ma'am,
Ma'am.
if I put my fingers inside of you without permission,
That's
that's an assault, correct?
that's sexual assault.
Ma'am. Ma'am.
Right.
Ma'am. What's worse, abuse or assault?
Assault, because that's penetration.
And his fingers penetrated her.
There's nothing saying
Ma'am.
that happened.
Ma'am. Ma'am.
Oh my
Uh,
God.
uh,
Okay, so hold on,
you.
hold on. Let's do this, ma'am. Can you
Mm.
tell me what case Donald Trump had been removed? Because you said I'm on my computer too. Can you give me a court document that I can put into my search bar, see as how Zeus cannot? That I can find that
Yeah.
you say that court cases have been dropped on Trump.
Sure, hold
Give me
on.
a link. Give me a link.
I mean, and we're really trying to go. We're going above and beyond, really,
By
as
far,
far as I'm concerned.
you've never done
To
this before.
no,
Okay, first of all, you can put in Google Trump acquitted in abcgo.com. Former President Donald Trump acquitted, second impeachment trial.
Oh. The impeachment. Do you know how impeachments work, ma'am?
Oh, yeah, you said do something. I'm doing it.
But
what
I'm
are you?
asking you a question. Do you know how impeachments work? Because he was impeached. There's a two-step process. You're impeached, then you're removed. Bill Clinton was impeached. He was not removed. He will go down in history forever and ever as being a president that was impeached. Donald Trump was impeached twice. Once for the phone call to Zelensky in Ukraine, and one for January 6th. He was impeached. He was acquitted, but that means removal. That's all it is. The impeachment is not the court case. That is not a legal case. You said the 91 court cases, like in Georgia, he was removed. Those are being dismissed. I'm
What
talking those.
the the criminal cases, ma'am? I'm
Okay,
looking
go
on
on
Google too.
congress.gov.
Okay. Okay. I'm there.
Okay, now look in articles of impeachment against Donald John Trump.
No, that's impeachment. We're talking about the Jews.
Ma'am.
We're
No,
talking
we're
about
going to start with this. No, because you're going to play games just like you played games with the other one. I'm not playing games with you.
Ma'am, I think let me make sure I understand what's going on here. And I think the claim you made was his criminal trials, he's been acquitted of some of them. That's what you said earlier. You said he had 103 charges and some of them were or he was acquitted of some of them and now he's down to 91. You remember that part?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Why are we on congress.gov then? If we're trying to talk about his criminal trials. I'm not talking about his
And
impeachments.
plus, also, most of his January 6th cases were dropped.
No, they were not, ma'am.
January 2nd, 2024. Look it up.
Ma'am,
January
I
2nd,
think I
2024. Look what up. What specific what am I looking up just a date or am I looking up for a
Okay,
title
hold on.
please, ma'am, we
because
don't have all
you're
day. I
confusing
seriously want to get
I
you're
told
this.
you what to look for. You're not looking at. That's not my fault.
because you're confusing impeachments and
I told you the
indictments.
judge dropped most of the counts in his January 6th civil case.
Okay, hold on here. I'll just put that in. Judge
What?
drops
What?
most of Trump's cases.
No, jumps. No. See, you're doing it again. You're playing games. Judge drops most counts in Trump's January 6th civil case. I'm
dropped
doing word for word. You got to do it
most
like that.
of Trump's civil
Show. Can you
charges.
just show us? Can you just show us on your computer what you're looking at as well?
I don't.
Because
I
this.
wish I could. I don't have enough followers to show up my screen. Otherwise, I would have been showing everything already.
Okay. Okay. This to me is definitely insane.
Oh, okay. I see what she's talking about.
Uh huh.
Do you know how there were a whole bunch of cases brought up in regards to Trump and the January 6th where um, you had Brian
The
Sisknick,
obstruction.
the Brian
Yeah. Yeah.
Sisknick and all these people. Those cases, some of those cases were dropped. Those are the civil cases in regards to the January 6th and what Trump caused, causing people damages. Um, there are three
But
cops. There are three cops that their civil cases are still going through because they're going through because of the damages that they caused hit them physically and
yeah.
mentally because of the attack. Kind of like Eric Swalwell, his case is still going too. So
But that's not the
this
criminal
is not
cases, right?
these are not the criminal cases. No, the
Okay.
criminal
You
cases
understand that,
the
ma'am?
criminal cases that are
Hmm.
going on right now with the indictments in 91s, none of those have been dropped. You are
You
correct, ma'am. In the civil
Oh,
cases that were applied, hold on, the civil cases that were applied in regards to the January 6th and what Donald J. Trump did do, though some of those cases were dropped. You are absolutely correct in that, and I'm going to give you credit for that, but you have them confused, just so you know.
okay.
right. We're
Now,
talking
April
about
4th.
criminal.
April
We're
4th, New
talking about
York.
criminal.
Okay, hold on. April 4th of this year, New York indictment of Donald Trump was dropped. First charges were
A-
dropped.
April 4th, New York indictment.
Charges dropped.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
What year are you talking
I
about?
said this year.
Well, we're not in April, so I'm assuming 2023, right?
2023,
Oh,
yeah.
yes. I'm sorry.
Let's see what this says. Uh, April
So you
2.
think the new so you're saying the hush money case in New York has been dropped?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Thank
That's
you.
what you're saying,
Yes.
Spirit.
Yep.
But it's not. That is Alvin Bragg's case that is still ongoing, man.
It's still ongoing.
Yes.
You must
Oh,
be
okay,
talking
but
about
they're being dropped. Okay, this is what I'm telling you. There was 103. This is how it happens. This is what I'm
That
telling
was
you.
that
I'm
was the
showing
civil
proof
cases. But you're what you're doing is you're conflicting. You're blending a lot of the things that you're saying, which is
because,
inappropriate. Hold
well,
on.
look, you're asking for proof. I'm telling you. He was
And
telling
I'm
me
giving
that.
and I'm giving you credit on some of them. Yes, that what you talked about. Those I'm giving you credit for. Those are
but
good. But the other
but
ones,
he
the
but
all the indictments, Alvin Bragg, Letitia James, Fannie Willis, and Jack Smith. Those cases are still going. Nothing has been dropped about those. Those are the
you do get that.
They're, yeah,
You
as
do
of,
get that.
yes, but wait, hold on.
yeah.
Hold on now. Now, but what's going
So
on with those? What's going on? What has been coming up lately with those? And with Fanny,
You're,
what she was
ma'am,
doing, not, no, sir.
I'm
Dolph,
ma'am.
gonna drop. I'm gonna drop so you
All
can
right.
talk to her. There's something else that needs to be done here with me.
All right. Thank you, attacking. So ma'am, I need you to what I want to make sure we understood is this. We just saw that proof that E. Jean Carroll was sexually assaulted or abused, if you want to be technical. So you were wrong about that.
I
The
said,
next thing,
read the definition of it.
the next thing
Read the
is
definition.
the next thing
Oh,
is he's never
Lord.
had 100. He's never had 103 charges criminally. He's never had that.
I said he's had
All right.
103 charges. I never said criminally. I said 103 originally. That's civil and
Okay, but
criminal put together. And then when I started going through and showing actual proof
okay,
that I am telling the truth of what's being charged, then you drop your friend had to
okay,
go. How
yeah.
quaint.
No, 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 no. I think we went above and beyond to help you understand
No,
that
because
you were
you were trying to
wrong.
tell me I was bullshit until he
And
corrected you.
well, don't use profanity. Don't use
Okay,
that. We
well,
don't
you
do
were
that in
trying
here.
to
All right.
make me feel like I'm crazy, and then he even corrected you. So there, you even got corrected.
Ma'am, I'm gonna hope that this conversation rolls around upstairs a little bit for you. All right, and I do mean
I
that
hope it does
because
for you too,
you
because
you
obviously you don't want to believe the truth. You don't want to believe that we are worse off right now
okay.
economically. People are hurting
We're
more than
not.
ever.
No, that's a lie from the pits of hell, man. Don't
Really?
you
Come to
dare.
Chicago.
Don't you
Come to
dare. Don't you
Chicago.
dare say that. Don't you dare say that. People are thriving under Biden. Have you
Who
ever
the
heard of
hell
that
is
before?
thriving?
Me?
Okay,
You saying I'm not?
and you're probably one
And
of
a
the
lot of my friends
others.
and a lot of my friends are
Yeah,
too.
you're not lower
All
middle
this
class. That's
legislation,
why.
all this legislation that's being passed by Biden and Kamala Harris, you got to admit, if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have gotten out of that nasty pandemic that Trump got us into.
Excuse me?
I
He
can't
got
believe,
us into a
I can't believe,
pandemic?
I, and the
Excuse
way
me?
that he left. What
Who
kind of
got us
man
into the
doesn't even shake,
pandemic?
ma'am? What kind of
Who
man
got us
doesn't
into the
even shake the?
pandemic? It was proven that was
Trump
leaked.
did.
No, it was leaked from China. The
It was,
world
no,
went on
no, no,
lockdown. Really?
ma'am,
You want to
you're
say no
unhinged.
again? Okay. Because
You
Congress and
sound
Biden both said it came from China, from the Wuhan lab.
don't,
Fauci
ma'am,
himself said it.
ma'am, ma'am. You've been swerving
Oh,
all around this
wow. You're such a
live,
liar.
crashing into all kinds of misinformation out here in front of
Really?
everybody.
That's
You
why
gotta
you're the
cut it
one who's
out.
getting corrected by your
You
boy?
gotta cut it out.
That's why you
You
got
gotta
corrected
get
by your boy, right? Right?
right. Whatever you're saying, ma'am. All right. Now listen.
Mm-hmm.
I do hope you
So
really
Trump
sit.
sat there and made a whole virus come out and locked down the country, right? And started
I
mandating
mean,
vaccines, right? And
oh,
he made
oh. I
everybody
mean,
wear masks. Bullshit. He didn't do any of it.
oh. Listen. Why do you gotta keep using profanity?
Because you're
Okay. Let
lying.
me ask you this. Let me ask you this. If Donald Trump was such a good president, why didn't he get a second term? He was so good.
Well, we all know what happened with that.
Why? What?
Look at all
Tell me
the
what
extra
happened.
votes that came in. More votes than voters in Michigan. Oh yeah, and that's another thing. You
Yeah.
might want to start doing some
Yeah.
research on that because now it's coming out in Arizona,
I think you're
Michigan,
proving my.
Wisconsin. It's coming
I
out
think
about
you're
the voter
proving my
stuff now.
point, ma'am. You're proving my point. MAGA is losing, and you're a
Well,
good
you want to
example of
believe
why.
that? I don't care.
You're not dwelling in reality at all.
No,
We've
I
been
live
all
reality
over the
every day.
internet with the no. Then why don't you just tell the truth?
I,
Donald Trump lost because he was a terrible president.
oh
Tell it to the
Lord.
people out here. Tell them about the fact that he's really a criminal, that he SA'd E. Jean Carroll, and he has to pay that money
But he
because he
didn't
really is
essay
an
Eugene
abusive
Carroll.
individual. Why not tell the
Why
people he
don't you
cheated on
tell
his
the
wife?
truth?
All of his wives. Why not tell the American people the truth? He cheated on all his wives, even with Stormy Daniel. She's pregnant with Barron. He decides to go smash a porn star. Tell the people the truth and stop covering for him.
Okay, he
You ought to be
cheated on his
ashamed of
wife.
yourself.
So what? How many
Oh,
other
that's
presidents
all I
have done it?
that's all I wanted to hear you say. So what? That's what I'm talking about. You have no morals.
I have
You
no
have no
morals.
shame.
You're the
You
one
have
who
no
can't handle the
shame.
truth.
You have no shame.
No, you do.
You have no shame.
No, you do, because
You
you
get
won't
up
come
here
to
and
Chicago and see how it really is. You come to Chicago, try talking that shit. Yet you talking.
ma'am. Listen, I'm gonna have to move it on. All right. I'm very disgusted.
I would be too, because I
spent
can't
all
handle
this. I've
reality.
been.
That's what your problem is.
I've spent all
Come
this
to
time.
Chicago and talk like that. See what happens.
No. I will
Because you
not do
know that
that.
you can't.
Won't you do me a favor? How about this? Just leave the United States of America and go to Russia.
Oh,
Why don't you
really?
do it? Why don't you do it?
Why don't
Do
you
it.
sit there and grow up and be a man?
What's keeping you here? What's keeping you
I
here?
can be here. Why can't I be here?
You don't love this country.
Really?
You support domestic terrorists.
I support domestic terrorists.
Yes, you do. You probably think those folks in prison in
Okay,
Washington D.C. are
hold up.
hostages. You
Antifa,
think they're
Black Lives Matter.
hostages.
Excuse me? Burn down
I've
towns
never
and
seen one of
cities.
them. I've
Burn
never
down
seen one
towns
of
and
them.
cities.
I've never
Burn
seen
down.
one of them get convicted for January 6th, ma'am. Cut it out. You support insurrectionists. You ought to be ashamed. If it was up to me, I'd
Insurrectionists?
send you.
You don't know what an
You are
insurrection
a
is.
traitor. You.
You don't know nothing.
No. You are the
Man.
insurrectionist.
Really?
You're so lucky I'm not the
Really?
president of the
So
United States.
insurrectionists usually
Spirit,
get.
you ought to
So
change.
they always
You
get
ought to
escorted
change
by
your
the
name to.
police in, because the police were escorting
Oh,
them and
oh,
giving them
oh.
tours.
That's
There's
what you
video
believe. How
proof.
many
You can
police
look it up.
officers?
This footage was
How
released to
many
the
police
public.
officers have been convicted for January 6th? None.
Look at the
All Trump
footage. It's been
supporters.
released
All
to the
Trump
public. You
supporters.
obviously don't look at facts, because if you did, you would
Oh
look
no,
at the
no.
released footage of the
No,
police ushering
ma'am,
them in, and
ma'am,
they walked within the ropes even. Come on
ma'am.
now.
Ma'am,
Look
listen to
at the
what I'm
tracks.
saying to
There was
you.
a
Let
handful
me
that
go
were
ahead
not.
put that. Let me put her on mute, ladies and gentlemen. Put her on mute. She's not listening to Zeus. MAGA, this is your best and your brightest right here. You ought to be ashamed. You got this person up here talking to Zeus, and she doesn't even know whether she's going or coming. She's an
Oh, what you're
insurrectionist.
doing.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself, ma'am.
Well,
I
you're
was real
supporting a
peaceful.
pedophile, so who's worse?
I was real peaceful with you today. I was real peaceful, but you are something else. For you to sit up here and excuse Donald Trump's abusive behavior. The way he abused E. Jean Carroll, you're making excuses for him. You are just as bad as he is. You're a terrible individual. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. If you go to church, your pastor needs to be reported along with you. You are no patriots of this country. You ought to leave this country immediately. Pack your bags. I'm not going to Chicago with you there. I think Chicago would be a lot better if you got out, to be quite honest. You ought to really do some soul searching, ma'am. We've showed you an overwhelming amount of information, and you still can't process it. You refuse to. And with that, ma'am, this conversation is over. You don't deserve to talk to Zeus. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give Spirit what she deserves. Booze and shame. Yeah. They don't like me. Silence! I was really trying to be calm today, ladies and gentlemen. I really was. But Spirit did something. She did something right there that, just grinded my gears. You actually got attacking to come up out of the audience and show you court documents. And instead of recalibrating, you triple, double dog down, quadruple dog down. You got on all fours. I didn't know you could get on all fours on a TikTok. And you chose to defend Donald Trump instead of holding him accountable. I've had how many MAGA folks did I talk to today? All of them liars, fake patriots, insurrectionists. Not 1 ounce of truth in them. Not 1 ounce of truth in any of you Trump supporters. And this is, no matter if you're nice to them, sometimes you could be mean. It's still the same. They're going to always choose to believe a lie. They're always going to choose to portray themselves as victims. You're not victims, you Trump supporters. I refuse to allow you to be victims. You're a bunch of liars. You're insurrectionists. You're traitors. And you don't deserve to really be in this country as far as I'm concerned, like I've been telling you. If it was up to me, I'd send you straight to Mars. Elon Musk, give me one of those SpaceX rockets. I'll send your special behinds right there. Because you don't know any better. You're proud of your so-called 8th grade educations. You never want to talk about reality. You want to brand yourselves as something you're not. And at this point, ladies and gentlemen, it's a joke. It really is a joke talking to these hypocrites. Let's move on, ladies and gentlemen. I got a couple of more, and then I got to get up out of here. Who do we have here? Going once, going twice, sold. All right. I got to get up out of here. All right, all right. Let's move on, ladies and gentlemen. Mary Line 1-2. What do you got for Zeus? Oh, they're dropping like flies right now. They don't want none of this. All right, I get it. I get it. All right, well, all right, user. Thank you so much. All right, who do we got here? Aries Lady. Greetings.
Hello, Zeus. How are you?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm doing okay. I just wanted to come up and tell you that your level of patience is unrivaled, sir.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I really strive my best to hear folks out, but they at a certain point, you reach your limit, right?
Absolutely.
Mm,
Keep doing what you're
yeah.
doing.
All right. Well, listen, it was a pleasure meeting you, and thank you for having the courage to get up here and tell the truth. All right. I know it's hard to do these days, but it really does mean a lot.
Yes, sir. You have a good night.
All right. All right, all right. Aries lady, ladies and gentlemen, let's give her a round of applause. All right. All right, all right, all right, all right, ladies and gentlemen. You see what I'm doing. All right, let's bring up our next panelist. All right. I want to get one more decent conversation in before I get up out
Hey,
of here.
Zeus.
All right.
Hey, why are you going around spreading these lies and false information like you do every day? Why? Why?
Yeah,
Yes, you do. Hey,
okay.
and you talk about
Okay.
Trump this, Trump like that, and Joe Biden. All he is a sniffing little. He sniffs little kids. He take a shower with his own daughter. What do you think about that?
This is their breath.
And
This is the best and brightest MAGA has to offer, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go.
like Zeus, hey, Zeus, like Snuggles always tell the truth on you. That's why you can't handle the truth. Cause Snuggles is a man and you're not the man.
Oh, okay. So let me ask you this question then. Why is Donald Trump crying all the time on his platform if he's
Oh, he's
winning so
not
much?
crying. I ain't never seen Donald Trump cry.
Really? Do
It,
you send him any money, Bama? How much
no,
money do you send him per week?
I,
How much money do you send him per week? And don't you dare get up here and say you don't send him a
I
dime,
don't
because
send
that's a
him no
lie.
damn money. I just tell you the truth.
That
Hey,
no,
Zeus,
no,
hey,
no, no,
Zeus,
no,
let's
no,
talk
no,
about
no,
DJ.
no, no,
Let's
no,
talk
no,
about,
Bama, Bama,
hey,
Bama, Bama,
let's
Bama,
talk about
Bama,
E. Jean Carroll.
Bama, Bama. Oh,
Let's talk
what do you
about
want
E.
to say
Jean
about her,
Carroll.
real quick?
Her
What do
best
you want to say about her?
her best friend said she was a liar and she was a druggie, and they tried to use that in court, and they're gonna use that in court. And Trump's lawyers, they
Mm.
wouldn't. And Trump's lawyer wanted to use it in court,
Okay,
and
okay, okay,
the
okay.
judge wouldn't
That's
let them
hearsay.
use it in
That's
court
hearsay.
because the dang prosecutor was bad friends with the judge.
Man, sir, that's hearsay.
No, that's not
What
hearsay.
does that
That's
got to do
fact.
with what does that got to do with the price of rice? He's
I'm
already
telling
been
you.
found liable and he's been ordered to pay
Okay, let
actually
me tell you
88
this:
million
if
dollars.
she had been an SA,
Do you believe that we should follow the laws of the country or not?
well, yes, but he's innocent to
Okay,
prove
then it's a done deal.
he's
It's a
innocent
done
to
deal.
proving guilty though, Zeus.
He already has to pay.
Oh
They
no,
already came up
no,
with a
he's not.
judgment.
Hey, he ain't
Yes,
gonna pay
yes.
no 80. Not gonna pay no $83.5 million. I can tell you that much.
I know because you're gonna send him the money.
No, I'm
Duh.
not. Hey,
You're gonna help offset that.
hey, he's gonna have him.
Listen, I'm serious. Why do you defend this guy so hard? I'm
Why
gonna
do
be
you?
honest with you. I've never seen anything like this in my life.
Why do y'all defend Joe Biden for his crimes?
What crimes?
Oh, his classified documents he got scattered all in Chinatown and in his cars and all that
Has,
shit.
okay. Listen, keep it clean. But what crime about the classified documents was he violating the Espionage Act in any way with
Oh,
this?
hey, if all hey, people in the classified
No,
documents in
that was a yes or
Chinatown,
no.
yes,
That was a yes or no question.
yep,
That
yep.
was a yes or no. He is. Okay, send us the docket number. Let me go there right now. We're all on the internet right now. Give us the docket number that you're
That's
referencing,
what you
please.
always come out with a docket number every time, just like Snuggles all says,
Okay.
docket number.
Yeah, but you listen to Snuggles.
Well,
This is a
Snuggles
game
got
he
the facts.
created.
He
This is
got
the
the
game
facts
he
though.
created. So ladies and gentlemen, just to clear the air, he has no docket number about President Biden's crime. No, none of these Trump supporters do.
But see,
But
they can't get it
you
because
all love to get up here. You all love to get up here and say, well, it's crime on both sides. You want to do the whole two birds of the same wing nonsense. I mean, don't you understand? I've heard all of that, and not any of that has changed the outcome that Donald Trump is currently dealing with. You do
but
get that, right?
you know Donald Trump has got no convictions and all that, and he's got no crimes right now.
Right. How many times has he been to trial for those criminal cases?
None.
Okay, so that makes sense. He doesn't have any convictions.
Hey, and plus,
No, no, no. How many of them? How many of these charges have dropped since he's been charged?
hey, and January the 6th was not an insurrection either, and they ain't got no
Okay,
charge.
we'll get to that. But answer the question because the previous guest, what was her name? Spirit. She said some of these charges have dropped. Do you believe that?
Yes, I do.
So the 91 that he's been charged with, how many of them have dropped? Answer the question, please.
I say I don't know, maybe about 5 or 10.
So he's only being charged with 81 now?
It'll be dismissed.
No, but how many have actually been dismissed out of the 91 that he's being charged with? How many have been dismissed?
I can't say it this time.
Just take a guess.
I don't know.
I mean, okay. What do you want to talk about with January 6th?
You still think
What is the?
He's not been charged with January 6th. He's not been charged with insurrection on it either.
He's been found to have participated and engaged in an insurrection, correct?
Yeah, but he wasn't there.
Okay, so you agree that he engaged in an insurrection?
No, he didn't.
So you're saying the courts got it wrong?
Yes, I sure am.
So when do you think the courts got it right?
Because when he goes to court on it, it will be thrown out.
Oh, okay. So he hasn't gone to court yet, but when he does go, it'll be thrown out. Well, if he's so innocent, why does he want presidential immunity? Think about that. Have you ever thought about that?
I didn't hear him say that.
Think about it. Oh, you haven't heard him say he had presidential immunity?
Nope.
Oh. Well, why do you think the case in D.C. has been delayed?
And why is what's her name?
What did Snuggles? Is Snuggles texting you right now and telling you what to say? Is that what's going on here?
No, he's not.
The delay.
Me. Hey, like Janae.
No, are you sure?
And
are you sure?
Hey, and Stacey and Janae.
Those are Russian bears. Those are Russian bears. I wouldn't trust them.
And Stacey and Janae's the same way. They know they got the proof to back it up too.
They do.
Yes.
Okay. Are they texting you right now?
No.
Okay, so you're standing on your own, 10 toes down.
I'm 10 when I come outside, I tell the truth. I ain't had nobody to back me up.
Okay. I just want to make sure it's you. All right, because I'm still asking you. Okay, so you don't think Donald Trump participated in an insurrection, even though the court in Colorado said that he did, right? And
you know
actually,
why they said
even Maine, even in Maine.
It's
and actually,
you know why? That's a Democrat state. That's why.
Oh. Okay. I see what you're doing. So, if you don't believe he participated and engaged in an insurrection, there's a question that's been floating around about the tweet that he sent out, when he said Mike Pence didn't have the courage to do X, Y, and Z, right? Remember that tweet?
Anybody can send out a tweet. That don't mean it's true.
But Trump sent it, so it's true. When Trump speaks, it's truth. When Trump speaks, it's true to you. You do understand that, right? When he says jump, you say how high, sir. That's how this works.
I don't.
You listen to Trump.
I don't jump for nobody.
I'm done. You do listen to Trump. Trump is your daddy.
No. Hey, Joe Biden's your daddy.
No.
Yeah, Joe Biden's your daddy.
Trump is your daddy, sir. Trump is your daddy. Just admit it.
Like me.
I can't believe. Donald Trump, are you listening? One of your supporters is getting out of line on TikTok. He's saying that you're not his daddy, Trump.
Hey, and I'm a MAGA, and I'm not a terrorist either. Communist terrorist like Joe Biden is.
Oh, you're MAGA? You're MAGA?
Yep, sure am.
Oh, then you are a terrorist.
No, I'm not.
You are a terrorist. You're a dumb. You are. You're a domestic terrorist.
No, that's Joe Biden.
Look it up. Go look it up.
Joe Biden.
Listen.
Hey, Joe Biden is letting these illegal immigrants.
Bama. Nope, that's all misinformation. Listen. If you go look up the word, go look up terrorist, I guarantee you will be in the dictionary right next to it, and the word MAGA will be there too. You're domestic terrorist. You attacked our capital on January 6th, and you refuse to own it.
Hey.
Do you think those people that are in prison are hostages? Those ones that attacked the Capitol. Do you think they're hostages?
Yep, I sure do.
Oh, I'm glad you admitted it, because now you're admitting that you side with BLM, Antifa, and the FBI. Thank you.
No, I don't.
So you're BLM and
No,
Antifa.
I'm sure I ain't.
Well, you sure is.
No, hey,
You sure is, because those folks in prison are Antifa and then FBI, right?
anybody can say that they are, but I don't believe it.
What? Oh, so yeah. See, this is what I'm saying. You don't believe those folks are Antifa, or you don't believe they're hostages? Which one? You're calling Janae right now?
Who? No, I ain't.
You.
No,
I'm
I ain't
asking
calling
you a question.
No, I ain't calling your
Yeah,
name.
yeah. Are you sure? It's
I
taking you a
know
long
so.
time to answer my question. Okay. So, do you think those folks in prison in Washington D.C. Do you think they're BLM or Antifa, or do you think they're hostages? Which one?
Neither one.
So they're Trump supporters.
No, they Democrat supporters.
The ones in prison behind the attack on the Capitol, you can't even
I,
take yourself serious.
hey,
I'm done with this conversation,
hey,
Bama.
Nancy
You don't
Pelosi.
even take yourself
Nancy
serious. No,
Pelosi.
I don't want it. I'm not.
Nancy
I'm no,
Pelosi the
no,
one that done
no,
it.
no.
Nancy Pelosi.
No, 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 no,
Yep.
no. I'm not going to let that. I'm not going to entertain that nonsense. The fact that you sat here and chuckled
What about
because
the?
I was
What about?
asking you,
Let's
were they
talk.
hostage? No,
Well, let's talk about the
no.
border then.
What do you want to talk about the border for?
Joe Biden let the border
Biden?
wide open. It ain't just Mexico. It's all the way across the country, letting all these people coming over here to take us out, and you know it's true.
Okay, and I'm glad that you brought that border up. Are you part of God's army?
Do what?
Are you part of God's army?
I'm for Texas and the truck drivers.
Yeah. So you're part of God's army. Are you at the border right now?
No, I'm not.
Oh, you failed once again to follow Donald Trump's orders. I'm starting to have second thoughts about you too,
Donald
Bama.
Trump didn't have
Ladies and
Donald Trump.
gentlemen, we have a
Donald Trump didn't tell
fake
nobody
Trump
to go to the.
supporter.
Trump did not tell nobody to
Yes,
go
he
to the
did.
border.
Yeah,
No, he
no, no,
didn't.
no, no,
No,
no.
no,
Then
no,
why is
no.
it called the why is it called the MAGA God for
Hey,
Army
why Trump ain't
meetup?
president? He can't tell nobody to
Take
go
back
to.
our borders. Take back our borders.
He
Go
can't.
look it up. It's
He
funny
can't.
that you don't know this.
He's not the
Apparently, you're
president
not
no
really
more. He can't
MAGA.
tell nobody to go to the border. He's not at president no more. He can't tell nobody to go to the border.
Wait a second. Donald Trump isn't the president anymore?
Not right now until 2024.
So you agree he lost the 2020 election?
No,
You agree now?
no, he robbed. He got robbed and it was stolen.
Oh, and who robbed him?
Joe Biden.
All right, listen, Bam. I'm gonna have to move it on. All right, I'm disappointed in you. I
No,
really am. You know why
well,
I'm
good.
disappointed?
Hey,
You know
just
why
give
I'm?
me. Hey, just go
You
ahead
know
and
why I'm disappointed in
just
you?
give me a boo boo because that's just the facts.
You know why I'm disappointed in him, ladies and gentlemen? Because Bama is a traitor. He's a domestic terrorist. All right, and let's give it to him what he deserves. Let's give it to him.
Silence! You never demon!
Bama, Bama. You know what you can do? Call Snuggles, call Stacy Bear, call Jay Bear, and tell them you need a refund. All right? Whatever you bought from them, tell them it was whack. Tell them it was boo boo. Okay? Because you came up here and just revealed how out of touch with reality you really are. See, you didn't think I had you when I had you, but I had you. Are they hostages? Are they Antifa? Are they BLM in prison? And you couldn't give Zeus an answer. And the best answer you had was neither. And then you chuckled under your breath and tried to pivot to Nancy Pelosi. Yeah, you know it's ridiculous what you believe. You know it's ridiculous. And then you want to talk about President Biden and the border. And you said you're a trucker, but you're not part of God's army. What is it? They don't reach out to you and send you the same emails? You're a liar. Jesus Christ, ladies and gentlemen. Where do these folks come from? Where do they raise Trump supporters at in America? Somebody please help me. Where do they raise these folks? All right? Because this is sad. This is sad on top of sad. I shouldn't even be doing this, ladies and gentlemen. I really shouldn't be doing this at all. All right, let's bring up another panelist. Oh my goodness. All right, all right, all right. We're gonna pivot and hear from some of my friends for a quick second. All right, Zpoc, welcome. How are you doing?
It's another beautiful day in the bunker.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I respect it. All right. I respect the bunker. All right. What do you got for us?
Yeah, so, in reality, earlier today I heard some talking about some third party candidates, right? And I heard about, oh, well, we're just, these are two wings of the same bird.
Mm-hmm.
And, it doesn't matter what we do. But I want to remind everybody that Miss Spirit is a voter, right?
Yeah.
Miss Spirit is an actual voter in this society who is going to literally dictate what we end up having in this country.
Right.
And so for those
Right.
folks that sit around this app and start to say, well, I'm just not really excited. I'm not really excited about, the candidates. I would like to
Mm.
remind them that we're not necessarily voting for a candidate as much as we're voting to prevent a candidate and also promote an idea. The
Right.
idea is democracy. The candidate
Right.
is the candidate we're fighting against is Donald Trump. That's it. That's all it is. And the thing is,
Yeah.
they can say all they want, oh well, there's all these cases, which again, they don't have cases. She brought no evidence to suggest that any criminal charges were filed against, Mr.
Yeah.
Biden or anything related to that.
Mm.
But again, we are going to defeat Donald Trump, the weakest candidate to ever walk
Yep.
into a presidential election, because they could have had it. They could have had it all. You know that Adele song? We could have
Yeah.
had it all, rolling in the
Yep.
deep. Well, you know what? You know
Yep.
what? They could have had it all if they would have just nominated
Yep.
somebody else. But because they nominated Donald Trump again, well, they're going to lose. They're going
If
to
they
lose.
would have convicted him in the Senate, right? If they would have convicted him in the Senate, none of this would be happening.
Right, and let's
They should have held him
and
accountable,
let's talk
but they refused to
and
do it.
let's talk about that too. Since when is
Bunch
it
of liars.
when it since when is an impeachment uh go away? When does an impeachment go away? Just because they weren't convicted doesn't, they like to say zero convictions, right?
Right.
Listen, so if an impeachment goes away, then I guess Bill Clinton was never impeached. If that's your argument, right? I mean, Bill Clinton was never impeached then. And sorry, that's
Yep.
the oven.
Uh oh.
We're cooking up some goods, Zeus. We're making
Good,
some
good,
pasta
good,
tonight.
good, good, good.
But
I love it. What kind of pasta?
it's just spaghetti, and then some
Mm.
Texas toast, some tomato basil. It's a pretty simple evening here. It's not too
Yeah.
complicated.
Oh, okay. That's nice and healthy for you. All right.
Yeah, right.
That's nice and healthy. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Don't
What's
pack up too
what's the
much of those
vegetable? I
carbs,
don't
though.
know. We're thinking about. We don't have any salad. I don't think so. I got to figure out a
Mm.
vegetable here. You got to eat your broccoli. But anyway,
Fair enough.
because Donald Trump never ate his broccoli. That's why he's such a narcissist, right? Because he
Yeah.
he
He
thinks
just.
he thinks that he's more popular than Taylor Swift. Listen, if he
Mm.
wants to go up against Taylor Swift and try to have a popularity contest, we'll take that any day. Because
I agree.
because just because you're a 76-year-old man who never was told that you were not great your entire life doesn't mean that suddenly Taylor Swift is not as popular as you. Cut it out. That's what we say. Cut it out.
Yep.
Cut it out.
Yep.
But yeah, that's,
Tell
that's
them.
what I wanted to say tonight. These
All
we
right.
we have to continue to speak to these younger generations who essentially are not
Uh-oh.
satisfied with the two choices, because we have to make sure that they understand that 2016 was the same situation, and the reason why we haven't progressed is because we had a bump in the road.
If Hillary
Bingo.
Clinton had been president, none of this would be going on right now. We would not have Roe v. Wade overturned. We would not have any of that. We would have potentially closer to
Yep.
progressivism. The last thing I'll say is the longer that you don't allow somebody like Joe Biden to be reelected, the further away progressivism will be, because it ain't going to come with Donald Trump, and it's certainly going to be
Yeah.
set back a lot of years if you continue to do this. So let's fight let's worry about this election, and then we can worry about moving Joe Biden further left. That's the most important
Bingo.
thing. So
It's a two-step process, is what you're
yes,
suggesting.
and it takes time. It does not happen overnight.
I agree.
I think that
I
respectfully,
agree.
I think Gen Z is a little too, they want stuff and they want it now. You know that commercial, I need cash and I want cash now? Well, they're a little bit like that. And I think that
Yeah.
once they understand that we can get there, but they're going to have to take some time. They're going to have to be patient. They're young. They can wait. We've waited long enough.
Exactly.
But I got you, brother.
Yep.
I gotta put the spaghetti in here. I got some boiling water, so.
All right. All right. Well, keep up the good work, and thank you for those wise words of encouragement. All right. I really
Absolutely,
appreciate that.
absolutely. We love it. We love to see it. Goodbye.
All right. All right. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up to Z-Pac. All right. Great guy. Great. And I wasn't supposed to be here this long, but y'all didn't got me activated playing with these Trump supporters. All right. Oh my God. Okay. All right. Snuggles, let's get straight to it. I don't got any time to play around with you today. I really don't. I don't have any love in my heart
I know
for
it does
MAGA
get
or
a
anything
little
you
triggered when
represent.
some of the truth comes out. How you doing? We're at a 30%. Thank you. We're at a 30% approval rating for Biden. Can you please tell me why he's so low in the polls when this guy has 91 charges?
No. Don't look at the polls. How many times have
This
I
guy
told
has
you that?
91 charges and he's beating Biden. How's that? How's that so?
No. Let's talk about those 91 charges.
Right.
Let's talk about it. How do you justify supporting a man being charged with 91 felony
the
counts
same
for
question
stealing
myself. I'm
classified
just wondering-
documents, paying hush money payments
Right.
to Stormy Daniels,
Right.
which is, as far as I'm concerned, that's election interference.
Oh, yeah.
Getting money from China.
Right.
The most corrupt president in U.S.
Right.
history.
Biden got
And
money
you're going to
from
sit
China
up here
too.
and talk
No
about
problem.
Snuggles. You disgust
No
me.
problem.
You disgust
Biden's got a lot of money from China too. Come on, what's good for the goose is good for the gander, bro. One
Snuggles,
gets
you
caught, one
disgust
doesn't. Your Democratic Party is mob-like, mob-run,
Snuggles, all you're doing is
being held
crying
by the
on TikTok.
DOJ, bro.
All you do is wake up and cry on TikTok
Well, I
every
don't cry
single
on
day. You
TikTok,
have
bro.
you have no real grievance with President Biden. Everything you've been spreading is
Really?
QAnon conspiracy
Really?
stuff at
You're not
best.
conspiracies, right?
It's all
So
emotional.
Republicans sit
It's
around
not true. It's
tables
not
and make
true.
up this
It's not
shit.
true. It's not true.
So Republicans
What?
sit around tables and make up stuff
No,
about Biden. Is that what you're
no,
saying? Is that
I
what you're
wouldn't say
telling me?
that. I wouldn't say.
What
I
about
wouldn't
the
say
shell
Republicans.
companies? I haven't heard about the shell companies.
I would say MAGA. I would say MAGA. MAGA. You're MAGA.
I
You're
think
not
Spirit was great. I think what I'm going to tell you here is you need some spiritual.
Yeah, right. You believed everything she said, right?
Actually, she did really well, and
Yeah. Okay, let me ask you this. Do you believe any of his court cases, his criminal cases, the 91 charges, any of those, has he been acquitted of any of those?
well, what's 91 minus 91 right now?
I'm asking you a question.
Zero.
Did he get
He has
acquitted?
zero convictions.
Did he
I
get
don't really
acquitted?
talk about it because it's really going nowhere. How's Fanny doing?
Okay. So
Can you please tell me
that's
how
what I
Fanny's
wanted you to
doing?
say. Let me ask you another question.
How's
The
Jack
people
Smith?
in prison.
You haven't
The
said
people
Jack
in
Smith
prison.
in
The
any of your
people.
morning life.
Oh my God.
Wait.
The people. Listen, ladies and gentlemen. Sometimes you gotta mute this knucklehead because he's a liar. All right. Snuggles has no real credibility out here on this app, ladies and gentlemen. He gets in his feelings every single day on this app. This is one of the biggest crybabies on TikTok.
Absolutely.
He would smell Donald Trump's dirty diapers if he could. Snuggles, show him what it looks like when you smell it. Look at him. Disgusting, disgusting, disgusting. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen,
Guess what?
you know what we came to do. You know what we got to do? He's out of here. He's out of here. I don't got all time to... You don't play that. We don't play that.
Struggle pancakes. Struggle honey buns, struggle in a way. Yeah, he's a struggler.
None of these Trump supporters are bringing any facts to this platform at all. They just get in here, they cry, they complain. You see this, ladies and gentlemen, you see what I gotta go through. They get in here and they're some of the meanest, most disgusting human beings on the planet. They are traitors. Seditionists, treasonous cult members, I tell you. They say I'm a race baiter. I'm not a race baiter. These folks, ladies and gentlemen, everything, like I say, every MAGA accusation is truly a MAGA confession. And I've never been so disgusted with anyone in my life like I am with you Trump supporters. You really ought to be ashamed of yourself. Are the folks sitting in prison in Washington, D.C., are they hostages? Are they BLM? Or are they Antifa? MAGA, answer the question. And to get back to the main topic, is MAGA winning or losing? Judging by all of the Trump supporters that I've talked to so far today in the Closet of Truth, both Gregs, but the second Greg, he was kind of nice. I won't be too mean to him, but the first Greg and everyone after, bunch of losers, bunch of suckers and losers. The MAGA movement isn't getting larger. It's getting smaller. All right? The votes Donald Trump got in 2020, there's no way on God's green earth he'll get that same number of votes in 2024. He won't be able to pull it off because he's gotten worse. He's a weak leader. He's a weak man. His supporters are weak. Some of them have lost their lives, right? Because they didn't get vaccinated. They're no longer here on earth. So that's a certain amount of them that are gone. Some of them are in prison right now. You know, his insurrectionists and all of those who participated in it, they're in jail right now. We won't be seeing them vote for a while, right? And all across this country, Americans are speaking up and against the MAGA ideology and every single thing that it represents. MAGA is not getting smaller. Not getting bigger. It's getting smaller. All right. And with these criminal charges that Donald Trump has right now, ladies and gentlemen, it's really destined to collapse. And I believe this year it'll happen. And that's why I'll be right here making sure I let these Trump supporters know I have no problem sending them to the depths of hell where they came from. All right, because that's truly where they belong. If you're complaining about Chicago, Spirit, you're still complaining about Chicago, do us all a huge favor. Leave the country. Go to China. Go to North Korea or go to Russia. I really don't care where you go. And to that gentleman, who was he? What was it, JD or Bama? Join God's army and get your special behinds to that border and do what Donald Trump said do and protect the border. Take it back like you said you would. You're all a bunch of traitors. Yeah, they need to leave Chicago, right? I got to get up out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Enough is enough. I'll see you all tomorrow. Same Zeus time, same Zeus channel. Make sure you Trump supporter. Look at that. My battery's about to die. Otherwise, I would keep going. But yeah, if any one of you go live, we can finish this conversation in a safe Democrat space. All right? I don't want to. I'm done with you, Trump supporters. You've showed me enough of your rear ends. You really ought to be ashamed of yourselves. I'm out of here. All right. Have a great rest of your evening, ladies and gentlemen. Stay safe.
True focus goes hands into kingdom.
You all make me sick.
This is how I move when I'm walking like Zeus. This is how I sound when I'm talking like Zeus.
Yeah.
This is how I stare when I'm looking like
Thank
Zeus.
you, man.
I like to act a fool when I'm moving like Zeus. Don't be
It's over, MAGA.
like Zeus.
It really is.
Cool till I
Right?
like Zeus.
Hey.
Like Zeus.
Welcome.
All rules. I'm a god. Call me Zeus. I'm higher than the eagle and got bread on me too. Took a long time to get here and I'm really brand new.
Thank you, Ed. You You are all amazing, to be honest. I can't leave it at this morning star yet.
Around with you fall in love too quick. You a high risk, mix all in the mix. I put a bounty on your head. This
Yes.
is where your butter fed.
All these Trump supporters, they're living in delusion. We literally attacking. We had Spirit. You showed her the court documents. All right, thank you all for the gift. That's amazing. I really do appreciate it. You showed her the documents, and she still got on all fours for Donald Trump. MAGA, you're losing, and you're not just gonna lose Trump. You've actually showed me that you're losing your mind.
This is how I stare when I'm looking like Zeus.
You gotta be ashamed.
Fool when I'm moving like Zeus. Don't be playing with my move when I'm moving like Zeus. You thinking that you
No, MAGA is not winning. That's live from the pits of hell. Trust me.
I make my own rules. I'm a god. Call me
All right, I gotta get up out of here, ladies and gentlemen. You know what it is. Vote blue. Okay, yes, blue wave. Put the blue wave in the comments section. If you really care about our country, you really do gotta vote blue. All right, and I do mean that because what Donald Trump and his legion of demons are doing is unforgivable. Yeah, they don't like me because I tell the truth. Well, someone has to do it, right?
Catching all these snakes like a mongoose.
I hope you all Challenger, stop it.
You know I'm so handsome. That's why they call me Zeus.
America is not done, but if you vote for Donald Trump, it just might be. It really will. And not just get rid of all the MAGA Republicans in Congress too. They're not helping the American people. And I do mean that. Trey, Buddy's like, you all are going straight to hell. Yeah.
Yeah, you know about me.
MAGA is whining.
Wild.
They are.
I'm the god of the god, you know what I'm saying?
Is MAGA winning or losing? The answer, they're losing.
Now mine on the beat,
They're losing elections every time,
on the truth, ladies and gentlemen.
and they're losing their minds.
Like a kangaroo. Don't get caught flipping in the woods, or
Yep.
you be dead like a
All right, ladies and gentlemen, y'all have a. You know what I gotta do? All right, ladies and gentlemen.
You have a problem figuring out what you're premier Trump, and you ain't quiet.
All right.